games like that one you're playing, I can't. I
Yo,
just can't.
guys, what is going on, everybody? Next podcast is live. Yo,
Live.
guys, we could have kept going and just kicking the shit. Before we going live and stuff like that, we had a conversation going. It is good to see everybody in the chat. Yo, Z Black Rider, my bro, a moderator on this channel, brother. We start at 7. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Z Black, he's like, will this show ever start? And stuff like that. I think he was messing with me. But I'm like, dude, we start at 7. But, it is good to see everybody in the chat. If you haven't done it yet, I actually have not done it yet. Hit that thumbs up button. We have a crazy show lined up for you today. Some crazy topics to talk about. I am really excited for tonight. So let's get into the intros, and I'm going to start with the man whose gameplay tonight shows you guys something, all right? It shows you his driving skill. It shows you his shooting skill. And it shows you his out-of-body experience skill. I don't know. Crispy, what is going on, bro?
Oh, what's up? Yeah, I went all over the place with that gameplay tonight, so it should be fun to watch. I mean, it's been a fiery week, and there's a lot of heads rolling, as they say. So let's roll some more. Let's get those tumbleweeds going, baby.
Funny thing is, I've been playing PGA Tour, so catching the roll on the fairway is something I'm about, man. So I can't wait to see where these topics lead tonight. I think it's gonna be a really good show, bro. But on that note, let's go to my brother from the Lone Star State, and not only is he a gamer, but he gets into the financial side of the gaming industry as well. Pretty much like nobody else I have ever seen. My brother Predator, what is going on, bro?
What's up, man? I'm a gamer, but I am not a turn-based gamer. You guys caught any of that when we first jumped in. I got some good gameplay today too. This game is on right now. I had a couple of weeks ago, so you're a little back.
Yeah, no. This is the intros set, and
yeah, my gameplay.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, yeah, because I remember fighting this guy. Okay, yeah, I get gameplay twice. Oh shit.
oh no.
Oh shit. It's on today. I'm actually happy we got gameplay back in this week because I was bugging because I sent you that shit a couple of weeks ago. Like my shit, because of the monitor I have, it's all distorted and fucked up. So
you just had to go big, right? You just had to go big with your monitor, man.
That's what the ladies like. Yeah. But I'm glad we did it a week early, and I sent it to you early. I was able to get something in, at least fix it and figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong. But even though look, I know we're like competitive about the shit, but it's always awesome to see something in the background besides just avatars. So it's awesome for the people out there too. So no matter who wins today, we all win because we get to see something other than our faces on avatars when you guys are listening to the podcast. But glad you guys are here. Another Thursday. I'm not as hype as I was the first week we did a Thursday show, but I will try to keep that same energy as we go forward.
I was gonna say, once we start talking about the 30 series by NVIDIA, I think you might get energetic there, man. Just before we went live, you were kind of going in a little bit, man. It's gonna.
I'm trying to save a little bit, but I got a little left in the tank for you guys up there. So.
All right, cool. And that's for you guys in the chat. What is going on, Jesse? Good to see you. My brother Alo, what is up? Javier, what is going on? And everybody in the chat, what is the deal? Now, next on the list, coming live from the 405, and he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamers out there. My brother K-Mega, what is up, bro?
What's going on, everybody, man? And getting ready to enjoy the Labor Day weekend by being a damn fool, trying to act like I'm a teenager again, staying up for 24 hours playing Wasteland 3. That is insane. I mean, I skipped a couple of hours in between. I got to watch my news, got to get to my Rachel Maddow, got to get all that, absorb all that information, spend time, talk with the wife, stuff like that. But man, I just woke up from, man, my wife was like, what in the hell are you doing? I'm like, man, I can't stop playing this Wasteland 3. I knew it was going to be dope. I played 2. I never beat it.
Yo, she
Man.
woke up. She woke up. She put her hand on your side of the
Well, yeah,
bed
because
and you weren't there. Like, yo,
oh,
what
yeah.
the hell?
Yeah, because for one, she works at home, so they got her working in the house, so it's fine. And so like when she was there, she's like, "You still up?" I'm like, "I can't stop playing this game. It is insane." Man, I love Wasteland 3. It man, I'm telling you, if there's any a game out there, I mean, and I put Halo 2 in the same category, but this is better than Halo 2, Halo Wars 2, just because of the it's amazing. The writing in this game is so clever. Just the story itself, it leaves you in so many different positions of like, what the hell do I do? Because you could do one thing and it might be the right choice, but then there's other choices that put you in just crazy positions. So if you guys are not into those type of RTSs, this might be the one. And if there's three games I would say I would give them a chance. It's this one for sure. Number one, Wasteland 3, Gears Tactics, and Halo Wars 2. I mean, you would definitely come away get away happy. I'm telling you, just by the stories
Dude,
themselves.
yo, I gotta say, when it comes down to it, and we all know K Mega, he plays a wide range of games. Like, not only, you play on PC, I believe you have a PS4 as well, all that good
Yes.
stuff. Dude,
Yeah.
I hardly ever hear you at a loss for words when describing a game like you just were with Wasteland, bro.
Yeah, I just it blows my mind, the writing, the voice acting, and then just some of the things that you just do in the game. Like, I mean, it's if looking at it on the surface, you could say, oh, it's just one of those top downs or whatever. It is what it is. But then when you get into it and then you see how in depth it was, that's why when I played 2, I knew it was in depth, but I didn't give it enough time. And now I got to go back and I got to beat that game because that's how good this game is. They put some.
They
They
created a
did.
fan.
Yeah,
They got a new fan now.
they're fantastic. This game is fantastic, man. I highly, highly recommend this game for sure.
Nice, brother. Nice. Yo, huge shout out to Cali Rex in the chat. What is up, bro? Thank you for having me and K Mega on your show. It was a lot of fun, brother.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It was interesting. Shout out to Bit.
Don't use the P word, man. Whatever you do, don't say the P word.
Why? Shut out. Man.
It got
Everything was good up there.
passionate.
They got really passionate.
I hate
got real
that.
passionate.
Like, I
They
absolutely
got
hate
real
the word
passionate.
passion and passionate now
Yeah,
because
go
of
check
the
out
gaming
Cali
community,
Rex. Cali Rex's show, man. It got really passionate. Me and Bit got into it pretty good. It was good. It was good banter, and yeah, it was fun. I haven't.
Sounds like it got heated. That's what happened.
It got heated.
According to the Crap Gamer dictionary of words acceptable within the community, it was just a passionate discussion. Okay.
Yes.
No, it got heated. Let's not sugarcoat it.
Yo, what is up, Chipmunk? Good to see you guys. All right, check this out. I am really excited about tonight's show because we are bringing back gameplay in which you guys, that's right, you guys in the chat will be able to vote on who had the best gameplay for tonight's show. And whoever wins that will get a whole bunch of different special effects and stuff, and they will have bragging rights for the entire month of September when it comes to the gameplay for next podcast. So let me just switch over to the gameplay part of this. Now, as you can see, top left-hand corner, that is where our hangout is. That's where you'll see us, and it'll change between whoever is talking. In the bottom right-hand corner, instead of it saying next podcast in that animated border, it is actually telling you the name of, the gamer whose gameplay is on at that point in time. So right now, we have Crispy. He was the first one to get in gameplay, so he is the first one to be shown. And as the show goes on, keep your eye on the show. Watch the gameplay. Keep an eye on the bottom right-hand corner as well to know which one of the panel members had the best gameplay in your opinion. As you can see, guys, I switched up the look, made it a little more modern. I hope you guys like that. I do like having your names in that animation. I think that's a really cool look, but I hope you guys like it as well. But and on that note, let me hit Sir X-Man, who just hit up the super chat. Thank you, brother. He said, K Mega, that's how me and Xbot felt about golf and soon Tony Hawk. That is right, brother. I am counting the minutes until I am able to play Tony Hawk 1 and 2. I caught some of the reviews. A lot of people are really getting into it. I do like that there is a creative skater. I thought I was going to be stuck just with, kind of like the skating legends and the new skateboarding stars, but they have it where you can also create your own skater and, make them look how you want them to look and stuff like that. So now I am even more excited for that game, bro. Thank you again for the support. First topic. Let's see here. Let's talk Tokyo Game Show real quick. We're gonna warm it up a little bit. Is what we're gonna do. It has been announced this past week that Xbox will actually be at the Tokyo Game Show. I believe this is the first one in a couple years that they're actually gonna be there. Not only that, they are slotted for a 50-minute presentation. I say a little under an hour presentation at the Tokyo Game Show. I believe it is going to get streamed, but it is going to be in Japanese. So I don't know how that's going to roll. I don't know what my plans are in terms of that, if I'm going to live stream it or whatnot. But just under an hour, and Xbox came out and they said that there's going to be no news about, and I'm quoting this right here, next-gen consoles, which got me to scratch my head a little bit, because you're doing a show that is just under an hour. Let's go to Crispy real quick. Crispy, I'm going to start with you. The gameplay is first. I'm going to start with you on the first topic. Tokyo Game Show, Xbox is going to be there. They're going to have a show for a little less than an hour, but they said that there's going to be no talk of next-gen consoles. What do you think? What do you think they're going to talk about? Do you think, like, I'm taking it as no new information about the hardware, but what do you take by, what they're saying here, and what do you think they're going to talk about for damn near an hour on stage, bro?
Well, I mean, we got to think about this. At this point, they're going to push Xbox Game Pass. You don't have Halo Infinite coming out. Pretty obvious. You have to push something. So I think they're going to push Game Pass. They said nothing new, but they didn't say that there couldn't be a big announcement. So, maybe you show a third party going into Game Pass. Maybe not necessarily day and date, but darn close. Also, I think they're really going to push xCloud, especially in that market. I think that is what they're going to go for. As of right now, is Sony going to show up? I'm hearing no. I don't know if that's changed.
I'm hearing no as well, but like, don't take that as like the end all be all right there. But so far, I'm hearing no. I don't know if we can chalk that up to a rumor, but as we get through the panel, Crispy, we might get a definitive answer on that.
Yeah, and I mean, what it comes down to is they have a market point in that area. Tokyo Game Show is clearly for the East Asian market, and at this point, with the way they play games, it's very much on their phones. They do a lot of mobile gaming, and I think this is a great time to really push xCloud and maybe even show what it's capable of. I'm not gonna hold my breath at this point. I'm just saying the way they keep not showing enough Series X gameplay for my liking, but at the end of the day, you have to push the market you're in, and that's why they're still doing these game shows, because at the end of the day, certain areas want certain things, and you really should do them. So I feel they're doing the right things, but we don't know also how this COVID type area is going to work with this.
Well,
I really don't know.
Crispy, you say push xCloud, and I do think that's going to be a big part of what they have to talk about. Japanese market. A lot of gamers over in Japan, they are gaming on a kind of like mobile platform. From what I'm hearing, they like the convenience to just pull out either a system or in this case like a phone and a controller and just play when you have time. But that's like I said, it's a little under an hour. Do you think there's going to be any talk? Because games like Scorn, Medium, they're going to be on the Series X. Do you think that when they say no new news on next gen consoles, do you think that also means games, or do you think, because I don't think that they have enough with xCloud and Game Pass, but to go for just under an hour, it seems like that's way too much time to talk about just those two things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you have to realize that at this point, we don't know what the coexistence of Game Pass and xCloud really is going to come to the forefront. If you're subscribing to the whole service, Game Pass Ultimate or just Game Pass, you're getting xCloud. So maybe they haven't really clarified what games are coming to xCloud, like as far as especially next gen or anything like that. So maybe we see some stuff like that. Maybe they re-show like a game like the Medium and say, hey, look, this is going to be on Game Pass and it's going to be on xCloud. You know what I mean? So they could use it that way. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, we all want the price, for the love of God. We want our pre-order. Okay, we really do.
What the hell is Sony's problem? Just say the price, Sony. Come on.
Well, because I feel like Microsoft is just playing this game of chicken.
They're waiting for Sony to say it first, and you know what? I say bravo to them for that, because they have gone first year after year after year after year. I think it's time for PlayStation to start announcing first, man.
I mean, absolutely. Come on, man. Like, I've seen it year after year after year, and yes, it might be only a day in between or something, but you saw what happened in 2013, how it just completely destroyed the narrative for Xbox after the 360. You saw it. So I don't blame them for saying, you know what? The ball's in your
court. We'll wait as long as we have to. Sony's going first this time. Like, that's it.
Yeah. And that's why they sent out the email saying, hey, you want to get into this pool to pre-order the PlayStation 5, but guess what? You don't know the price. So that's completely up to you. Like, it's like, I don't get it. And I hate that both companies are doing it, but I understand why Microsoft's doing it. And, it's unfortunate. I mean, hopefully we get some kind of new, I feel like we're going to get it, we're going to get more of the console stuff. Like, they've been kind of, teasing the Series S, you know what I'm saying? Without really teasing it, but come on, they don't know that they're putting out, Game Pass codes that say Series S on it, with the controllers and stuff like that. Like, the boxes have, Series S on them and the new robot white controller. Like, you're doing it. But at the end of the day, like, we want what we want. And if we're going to get the console, we want the console and we want to be able to pre-order it now. Damn it.
Damn it. Yo, what did I see here? Yo, Bruce. Yo, shout out to Bruce and Relzair. If I butchered that, I do apologize. But saying that the show is all about xCloud, that would be, in my opinion, I don't know how they can maintain a 50-minute show just about xCloud. I think it would turn out to be one of the most boring shows they have ever put together. I hope and pray that they have the common sense that they need to put in more than just that. But that's just me. Let's go to K Mega. I'm interested to hear what K Mega thinks about this, dude. Just under an hour. You're going to be on stage, Xbox on stage, Tokyo Game Show, but they're not talking next-gen consoles? What are they talking about for that time, bro?
Well, this makes me really excited because, and I understand there's people that think that it's odd that they would not want to talk about the new hardware, but this is why they're not going to do that, and it's because the hardware is not what Japan likes. They like mobile. They like streaming. They're into that. So xCloud is definitely going to be a huge focal point. And that's not the reason why I'm excited. The reason why I'm excited because it's been a very long time since Xbox has been in Tokyo Game
Yeah,
Show.
it's been a few years, right?
It's because yeah, it's been a minute. It's been damn near the whole generation.
Damn.
So what this means is that they're going to have Japanese games, which means those Japanese games will be coming to us finally. And it's not like I should say finally because of course you got Kingdom Hearts, we get Dragon Quest, we have all these other, but now I think that they'll start making. I think these other games that will probably shock people, they'll come. And I don't. And this is just me being, just speculating. I'm not saying that these are actually going to come, but this is what I'm thinking. I think we'll finally start. I think we'll probably finally get Neo. I think that this is the time that we might get some kind of Persona. Maybe not Persona 5, but probably maybe the Persona the personas that's going to Nintendo, maybe that collection, and maybe Persona 4 because that just dropped on PC. It's been stated from Sega that they're willing to start spreading out these games that's been only primarily on PlayStation, and we're starting to see that. So now it'd be the best time to get out there on this type of show and show Phil is actually out there doing the work. And then on top of that, there's still other Japanese games that's going to be coming out that shocked us anyway. Yakuza, the new Yakuza, the Dragon game. Then you got Scarlet Nexus that's going to be coming. So there's going to be those type of games, and then of course Minecraft is huge all over the world, so I understand that. And then they're going to be showing Flight Simulator um and some other games from that. But xCloud will be the biggest focus because that is what they enjoy. And from the understanding and Pred, I think it was you that showed me the art. It was a Japanese article. And if you read the comment when they were showing the phone, the Samsung what was it, Note
Galaxy.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Galaxy, the Galaxy or whatever. They You read the comments, they were hyped. Like the people in Japan were like, "Oh, whoa, Xbox! Finally, you're listening to us." That was like you just all that. There was not really one negative comment about Xbox in there, and there was a lot of comments in there. And so, I mean, yeah, they were all in Japanese. You had to translate it, but it's still.
K Megas did the time. He did the work for everybody. He translated every one of them.
I did. I read probably about 200 different. I read
Damn,
them.
bro.
Yeah, bro. Because that's the thing to me is when people get into these whole big, when they listen to the doom and gloom, when they hear all of these people that's saying this and that, and then you got to start having the content creators start saying the same thing that the stands keep bringing up. I just read the comments and see what it's like. If it's like this all over, or is it just in a pocket? That's why I know that it's just a pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's just people that act like they do, man. And so, but yeah, no, it was overwhelmingly positive, and so therefore they need to show the thing that will attract Japan gamers to jump on, and then that with Game Pass, and then with these Japanese games showing that they have that they're starting to build a relationship with Japan again is a fantastic thing. That's what I'm excited for, because that means that those type of games that I've been craving for Xbox gamers to have, and for myself as an Xbox gamer would want, it's now the time to start seeing what Phil has been doing. And then you never know, they might do this. Might be it would be the best place to announce a Japanese studio.
Oh.
Or some kind of crazy collaboration with maybe a new game to go on Game Pass day and date. So I can see why they're holding off on the console, because the consoles haven't sold in Japan whatsoever. So go with something that that audience is into, and xCloud is the perfect thing for that. But yeah, no, I'm really excited because this brings this finally, man. I'm
Dude,
happy.
well, I gotta say, man, you had me on the game scenario, and that makes sense because when I put the first promo up for next podcast tonight, I think I put in the promo, like, what is Xbox going to talk about, Tokyo Game Show, and I forgot who put it, but somebody put a GIF of Sega underneath it. and I didn't connect the two. I was just like, yeah, I'm a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan and all that good stuff. But now hearing you talk about that kind of put it together. But K-Meg, I do got to say, Sir X-Man hit up that super chat one more time, and I think you might want to read that if possible. If not, I will.
Sir X-Man in the chat, he says, K-Mega, glad you enjoying Wasteland C. He plays games. Oh, yeah, I do.
He plays games. He does play games. Yeah,
I play games, bro.
All right, let's get to Predator here on this. Now, Predator, again, Tokyo Game Show. Xbox is going to be there. They haven't been there for a while. They're slotted for about 50 minutes or so, a little less than an hour. I mean, I do really like what K-Mega said. Are you going to kind of roll in that same kind of like that same lane, or are you going somewhere different? What is Xbox going to talk about, bro?
This is the thing I hate about going last, because I have to listen to everyone else take the comments that I was going to say. So, I agree with both him and Crispy. Like the whole, the Japanese market, the whole xCloud thing, like that is what I think they're there for. Like, they're trying to launch globally this time around, and not just in a couple of countries. And so they have to win the Japanese market. And Microsoft goes through this push every now and then, where they try to capture the audience over there in Japan, and it never goes well. And I think this mobile market that they're trying to attach now to the brand, is the way they're doing it with xCloud is going to help. They're making products for it. They're pushing it. And I don't know. You got 50 whole minutes. Like, I don't know what they're going to talk about, but I know it's not just going to be Minecraft and Sea of Thieves and shit like that. Like, they have to have something else there that's going to cater to the Japanese market a little bit more. Maybe Crossfire, because that's a huge game over there in the eastern side. Studio acquisitions. I mean, I would love for them to come out and say, "Hey, we got Miss Walker, or we got like something over there that will grasp the gamers in Japan." But I just don't know how they're gonna fill up a whole 50 minutes with what I saw, like the little bit that we're gonna do this and that, like, and with what Xbox put out there. I'm gonna save everybody now from doing what we've done forever. When we get overhyped for something that doesn't happen. And I'm going to save you guys right now. Let me be your fucking savior. They told you they're not going to do X, Y, and Z. So do not expect X, Y, and Z when they go out there, because that's what we do every fucking time Microsoft has an event. We overhype it, and then we get.
I'm going to expect T, U, and W. How about that?
Like that. Oh, they said they're not doing this. That means they're trying to trick us. They're going to have a Series S announcement, and they're going to announce 5 studios, and they're going to get Ninja Gaiden. Like, no, we do that all the time. Like
man,
they
Ninja
told
Gaiden,
you,
love that game.
They're coming here and they're going to show you Minecraft. They're not talking about the console. Like, and that just solidifies the fact that we're not going to get a price for this thing, because this show is September 24th ish, give or take a couple days, like the last week of September. It's like late
22nd,
September,
24th,
22nd. Yeah, it's like the end of September.
Wow, and then Xbox is doing a live stream of Minecraft on October 3rd. So
I just don't know. This is what's frustrating about this, like this whole not having E3 and the COVID, the situation we're going through right now. Like, we have to deal with this shit piecemeal, right? And I don't think that what we want from this event is what we're gonna get from this event. They're gonna go there, they're gonna push xCloud, they're gonna push some Japanese games, Yakuza, etc., and they're gonna clap their hands and they're gonna go. And I have no idea when they're gonna announce what we want to hear. We need a price, we need games. And
they'll announce that after Sony does.
Yeah. But the thing, and I get it completely from the business standpoint. I understand why they're doing it this way. They want to go second. They want to be able to counteract what's happening. but someone's got to. I said this last week. Somebody's got to pull their dick out at some point. Like, whip it out, man. Like, let us see what you got. Like, and it's like the longer you take, like,
stop hiding.
And I know, we're gonna talk about this next. Like, one of the next topics we have is about the GPUs and stuff like that. But like all this power that we're touting, like, we have to see it at some point in time, right? Like, you say you got 12 inches. Let's see it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, pull it out. Let's see it. Like, and like, we got to see it working. Like, and we ain't seen it yet. And so, if they're waiting until after the Tokyo Game Show, when they've had multiple opportunities to whip it out, they haven't done it yet. And that goes for Sony too. Like, come on, people. Like, you're leaving your people, like, your console, your consumer base, blind right now. But yet, and I think Crispy mentioned this earlier, they're accepting pre-orders or like a chance to pre-order. Like,
yeah, it's a lottery to possibly be able to pre-order.
That just lets me know there will be a high demand and low supply for these consoles. I've said that before in the past. I think that people who want these consoles are going to have a hard time getting them.
You know, that's pretty much, shout out to Gaming Forte. He's on the panel for Crossfire every Friday, and he works at GameStop, right? And he said for the people who do care about sales and stuff, he was like, day one and all that good stuff, these consoles are going to sell out anyway because of the supply in accordance with the demand. And it's like, they're, whatever they can push out there is going to sell. And he's like, for the people who do care about sales, it's like March 2021 going into spring and stuff like that. That's when you see where the actual demand is, because there should be more systems by then,
Yeah, and like, the way it looks based off of what I've seen, like, you're looking at launch like right around Black Friday, like the week prior or the week of, and everybody and their mom's gonna be out shopping at that point in time, and whoever can get their hands on something like that, one of these consoles, is gonna pick it up. That's what little Timmy and little Tommy wants. And if they can find it, they're going to buy it, because that's what the kids are asking for. And you'll never see those consoles again. So, January, the end of January, early February. So I like you said, Game Forte said it. Like, they're gonna sell out like day one. It don't matter who wants them. Like, like the sales figures that you see the first 4 or 5 months don't even fucking try and hype that.
They don't show anything then.
Yeah, it's gonna show that people bought it because of the holidays. Like it ain't gonna. You're not gonna really see that spike until probably, like you said, March, April. Like, when you actually kind of tell who's doing what with who. But
yeah, that's for people who care about those numbers. By the way, I know I don't. Per se,
that first group of numbers you see out there between, I guess, November, December, January, maybe deep into February, like, that's gonna be some bullshit. That's gonna be people who decided they wanted a console and couldn't wait, and that's what they found. They found something that was available, but everything on the shelves is gonna be gone.
I think, and I think it's gonna come down to who has the most consoles ready to go.
Dude,
I mean,
even
really,
not look at the last launch, like when the Series X came out and the
Dude, I was working at GameStop for the beginning of this generation, and I will let you know that both systems were sold out every time we got new shipments in, which were actually few and far between as well. We would get 12 PS4s, 15 Xbox Ones. 15 I think was the most that we got, but we had like a whole notebook of names, and when we got them in, we had to call people, and we had to go right from in a row for people who pre-ordered in kind of like a timely fashion and stuff like that. Like they were always sold out, even when we had them in.
Let me give a little advice to my military people out there. About 2 weeks, maybe 3 after the launch of these consoles, check AFIS. They're usually there. No one knows about this. That's how I got my Switch. I got 2 of them when everybody couldn't find one. That's how I got my Scorpio Edition Xbox One X tax-free.
Hey, rest of the panel, we might have a way to get a console if we don't get them now. We just gotta call Pred, yo.
If you can't find one at Amazon, or you can't find one on Best Buy or something like that, Give it about a week. Just keep refreshing your screen every other morning, and about midnight is when they put everything in AVs, and you'll find the console there at some point in time, about 2 weeks after it launches, and you'll get one. I guarantee it, because they usually buy a shitload of them.
That is,
and they don't do the whole like only 10 people. Like if it's there and it's available and you order it, you're getting it.
well, they better respect the people in the military. I'm just saying. But I just want to give a huge shout out to our brother Yobi hitting up that super chat, and he says, "I just want to say I love you guys, man. Hashtag peace, love, life, brother. We love you right back. You already know that." And Sir X-Man hit up the super chat one more time, and I just scrolled past it, but here it is. Sir X-Man said, "Don't forget Japan loves all Final Fantasies." Do they? I mean, it's a Japanese game. I know the remake, people were really excited playing that game over here. I think Final Fantasy is a worldwide thing, man, but that includes Japan, so...
You get a shout out to the Zombilla ice cream. He said only 34 likes. Come on, people. Let's go. Hit that like button, everybody.
Nice. Yo, shout out to Zombilla. Thank you, brother, for the support. Yeah, if you guys are entertained, definitely hit that thumbs up button. And as usual, if you're not subscribed to this channel, definitely subscribe. But on that note, I am looking over here, and you know what? Let's get into the whole GPU thing. All right, let's get into this. NVIDIA announced their 30 series, their 3070, 3080, and 3090 in terms of PC GPUs. And the funny thing was, social media instantly set on fire. And there were people claiming that because of the performance of NVIDIA's GPUs, that the Xbox is dead. And I saw a lot of people just talking about the Xbox. There were a few people that were saying, oh, consoles are dead, this, that, or whatnot. But there was a lot going right towards Xbox. Now, I just want to share my thoughts on this before we get in with the rest of the panel. I feel like in terms of the PC community, the PCMR coming back on, certain people in the Xbox community, I do think that those certain people kind of asked for it, because when we heard 12 T-flops, Series X, I did see people all of a sudden pointing to the PC side, and I tried to warn them about making fun of the PC, because I knew that, the PC was going to get an upgrade as well. And if it wasn't in October, when I believe NVIDIA is launching the 30 series, it would have been like a month or two after the release of the consoles anyway. And I try to warn people to, not kick that bear. Basically, don't kick that bear, because eventually, the technology, the architecture that you see in these consoles will also be in the PC. All right, and then with the PC, if you're willing to spend that money, you will have a higher performing device in terms of gaming. So, I tried to warn people about this, but I'm gonna go to K Mega first on this. K Mega. First off, what do you think about the new GPUs at NVIDIA? I think they're talking, twice the power of the 2080. They're talking a lot of ray tracing, stuff like that. What do you think about their advancement in terms of the GPUs? And what do you think about the reaction here and how people tried to throw it instantly at Xbox? And, I will let you know, I'm a console gamer, and I don't really look at PC gaming the same as console gaming. To me, they're separate spaces. I don't know why people try to throw it back and forth, across that fence in the backyard, man. But what are your thoughts about the reaction as well, bro?
Yeah, no, it was very surprising to see what NVIDIA did. I mean, it put, if anything, it put AMD in a bad situation. They really went all out. AMD came in, they got everybody's attention with the Radeon and all the rest of their cards, and then came at an affordable price. And while NVIDIA was doing what they did, they came with those other cards. The card that I got, which was, I got the 2060 at first, and then I went in and I exchanged it for the 2070 Super. Because I fried my motherboard. So I was like, hey, so, and it was only it was supposed to have been more, but only got it for $50 more. So I was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Um, so once I got that last year,
And,
and then you look and then you seen the video just jumping out and bringing out some insane cards.
and what
It
was interesting, like Nvidia, they are known for like being very, very pricey, and it seems like they
right.
dropped down a little bit to try to compete a
Well,
little
I mean,
more. Yo.
competition is good, man. What they did is that AMD woke up the sleeping giant. I mean, a lot of people love Intel, talk about how Intel is this and that, but Intel is not even in a discussion right now. I mean, it's really pretty much, um, and I'm pretty sure the Intel people will be like, "Oh man, whatever, man, shut up." But
Intel's in trouble.
Intel's in trouble, and AMD is in trouble because what NVIDIA did is like, look, you come pressing, you pressed a little too hard. Now we're going to show you what we can do, and that what I'm saying, and they're good cards. That 3080 alone is ridiculous, and I mean, let's not even talk about what it was, the 3090. Like, I mean, that's overkill. That's stupid.
There's some
So
people in the community that will be picking that up, though.
yeah, the one percenters that for the one percenters. There, if people want, people bragging and talking about they got the 1080 Ti and all that, and it was discounted for $1,200. Those are the people that are as what they're called into the PC world, the champagne gamer. They're the ones that want the biggest and the best. For the majority of the PC gaming world, they're going to get. They've been gaming on 720 for years until just recently, until they started dropping the prices to where they were affordable enough to jump to 1080p or even 1440p. But mostly it's around 720 and 1080. Now people are in a position to where they can get into 4K gaming at an affordable price. The thing to me, and which is excellent, because now it's made me like, okay, well, let me see what these cards do in action, because they're supposed to be coming. Some of them's going to be coming out in this month actually, and let me see them in action. Let me just go and check out the tech guys and see what they do, how it runs, and all that stuff, and then I'll go in and I'll get the 3080. I don't find that to be a problem, and then I'm set. I'm like what Fred said earlier. I'm set. I don't need to, what I'm saying. I'm a PC gamer by just it's my secondary thing. It's
Mm.
not my main thing. So that's going to be fine for me for years to come. When the next wave of cards come, then GPUs come, I'm not even interested, because this is where I'm good. I'm fine after that. The thing that trips me out is the PlayStation fan, or I should say the stand. The PlayStation stand is going out here and they're praising PC, but then on the other side, you got people that's sending threats to Sony because Sony is putting games on PC. You can't have it both ways. And what does that say about the PlayStation 5? Because you're trying to compare the Xbox Series X to the PC, but you're not doing that with PlayStation. How insignificant is the PlayStation 5 if you can't even throw your favorite
Ooh, you're
console
going there,
into
huh?
the mix? I have to.
You're
It is the
going there.
facts. It's the
Ooh.
facts. Like I said, I've seen some crazy narratives. I was chatting with people last night, like it was, and there's some people I think that's pretty slick that does this stuff over there on this in Stansville, because they take a narrative, they use it, and then they got
That's
the,
Danville.
the yeah, then they got the cattle,
There's
and then
some
they
cons.
Damn,
and then they
Cut
just
came
all
with the
throw it at
Fall
you.
Guys gameplay, yo. Oh
Yeah, so
no.
so so it's one of those things to me where it's like, okay, guys, I know that you have these narratives, right? And I know sometimes they stick, the this and that with the 1080p is this, that, who wants backwards compatibility, all that. And then when things start slowly, you know, falling apart, then they move the goalpost. This is and I don't say this word that much, but this is the dumbest, the most ignorant, the stupidest damn narrative that I've seen from the PlayStation community ever, ever.
Well,
This is the
the
worst.
extremists, because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
yeah.
stands. I'm not talking about the PlayStation fans, but this is the most stupid, asinine reasoning is to try to compare. Because I said, so what's your whole point of this? Because from last I know, PlayStation is down for putting games on PlayStation. And this is what they told me, right? They said, well, it's because we can play. You can play. Well, they said it just like this one, word for word. We can play Halo day one on my 3080, and PlayStation. It'll be years from now. From a PlayStation 5, will be years from now. From a first party game. Uh, there's some first party games already on PC that people can play already, but they try to use the PlayStation 5. And so I'm like, are you really going to go there and act like the PlayStation 5 games won't go to PC either? Well, if they do, it's going to be years from now. But doesn't that still, detract from what you just said? Because if it's day one, or if it's 2 or 3 years later, it's still going to PC. And at that point in time, the GPUs that's going to be out is going to be even better than what the hell you're capping about right now. So how is it even? So what are you talking about? How does that make any sense? And only reason they could do Xbox got no games, and that's what it's all about. No. You cannot try to single out Xbox to go to PC, but then you can't do, because your PlayStation is up there with the older GPUs. It is not a insignificant console.
No.
They built these consoles so they can at least try to draw some people from the PC, not to completely just leave PC alone, but to want to hey, look, I might want to get an Xbox or a PlayStation 5 because hey, this is what I want to get. But now, since everything
real quick on that, K Mega, in terms of like getting like the PC gamer to buying consoles, I think these companies finally figured out, because I know Last of Us 2, Spider-Man, all that good stuff, but I think they finally figured out that when it comes down to it, and of course Sony, they like to take their time on this, but it's a lot easier. We always said that software is where the money is made. You know what I'm saying? Having the hardware in is just it makes a potential customer for the software. So wouldn't it be a lot easier to get a PC gamer to grab into that thing that makes you profit if you take the games and put it on the PC platform, instead of trying to like coax a PC gamer into getting the hardware first, to then get the games and then make profit off of that, right?
Absolutely. And then that way you're still going to have the best of both worlds. Again, they don't want to believe that Sony is doing what they have been doing for years, is taking what Xbox is doing and then put their own spin to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, imitation is flattery, but when it comes to stands, they, it's not imitation. They were the originators. They always got to go back to something and say they were the innovators of something, which PlayStation was at one particular time. But I mean, they've seen what Xbox is doing and generating so much money.
Very reactive, especially
yes, they're becoming
this generation.
very reactive this generation, heavily, and it's like, come on, like, I mean, it's just reality of business. You guys were begging Sony not to put games on PC, and they didn't listen to you. So what makes you think that they're not going to put PlayStation 5 games on the PC as well? And just because, and now it's funny because everybody's got a PC all of a sudden, and they're supposed to be PC fans, or they're going to go and they're going to build one, but then yet they're going to sit there and say, "Oh, Xbox, if the Series X is $600, it's dead on the rival." Okay, or PlayStation 5, $500, which I've heard that. I've heard this before. The PlayStation 5, $500, man, that's a little too expensive. So if PlayStation 5 is $500 and it's too expensive, and you're saying that the Series X will be $600 and is dead on arrival, then what the hell are you going to do when you have to build your own PC? When I had to rebuild my PC, or upgrade it, as they say, it cost me $1,200, and that was just that was just to upgrade, because I mean mine was significantly bad.
Out of date.
It was way out of date, Jack. So way out of date. So I had to upgrade. It cost me a little bit over $1,200. Now I'm going to get me this other card here in the future. That card's going to cost $500. That's going to be the same amount as what these consoles is going to be.
The
Most likely.
3080 isn't that's $599, so it's actually $600, right?
I thought it was $499. Maybe that's the other one.
I think that's the 3070.
Okay, so what? Yeah, 6. So yeah. So regardless, yeah. So that's another 600. That's what I'm saying. I'm done.
$1,800 altogether to upgrade your PC,
no,
bro.
and I'm gonna buy me some more RAM. So that's gonna cost. Hold on, that's because the RAM is gonna cost.
People wonder why
it's like
the console is not
like
going anywhere.
Like how much is that gonna be? Like $120 per?
Yeah,
Because that's
150 somewhere, depending on what you get. If you get like with the RGB shit in there, yeah, you look at 150.
Yeah, I'm getting the shit with the RGB. So because I got 2 more slots, and I'm like, fuck it, I might as well go balls to the wall. So I'm gonna get that. So we're talking about another $700-800 for just 2 items. PC gaming is not cheap. Gaming now is not cheap. It's you only have if you're a budget gamer, good luck in this coming up generation. Good luck, because games are going up, and then consoles are going to be $500 or whatever, and then you have everything else that's involved. That's why everything is going to subscription. And that's why Game Pass is so important at these days and times, man. So it's like, good luck on getting your PC. I hope you will. But once you sit there and you go through the shit that you got to go through with it, it's I don't know, but
it's an experience.
It's
like working on a car, from what Pred described, I believe.
Yeah. So I think the PlayStation fans, the stands. Let me stop saying fans. The PlayStation stands are out of their damn minds for even trying to use that comparison. And it's pretty embarrassing. I mean, this shows
the Xbox extremists
on your own end.
And again, the Xbox extremists, that as soon as they saw kind of like the numbers, they went to the PC gamer to try to gloat and stuff like that. Like, you guys, you basically started making your own coffin at that point in time.
And that part is silly, because you knew that PC was still going, because I think we've talked about this before. It's that, like, we know PC is going to bring out something that's more significant than what the Xbox can do, but it is a testament to see that how much power Xbox is going for a console, to push that console to be in the discussion they were talking about being next to some of the at that time the top tier cards.
Yeah.
The top high end cards.
And for the possible price point, because people are throwing around anywhere between $500 and $600 at that point in time. Like, where are you going to get that performance, ray tracing, all that stuff for such a low price point, and not have to worry about buying different components to add into it? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Sir X-Man. And dude, I have been sitting on this, making sure I did not miss this. Shout out to him for hitting up that super chat one more time. He says all Final Fantasies are in Game Pass, Xbot. Yeah, that's the way I read it. Like, he was getting mad at me about it or something. And one more time from Sir X-Man as well. Some 4K PC monitors cost more than the graphics card. And that's true. Pred, you can attest to that, right, bro?
Yeah, I sure fucking can.
Well, Pred, what do you, first off, what do you think about what NVIDIA is doing here with the 30 series? It seems to really, it's got the PC gaming community like really excited. I am, happy for them. I'm a console gamer. I'm happy for the fact that the possibility of the cards that were expensive have a good chance to come down, for my game editing and stuff like that. That's what I do with my PC. But what do you think about what they're doing with the new graphics cards? And the same way I asked K Mega, what do you think about the reaction on social media? Because a lot of people started really going in on Xbox, and for some of those Xbox extremists, it was definitely they really spoke too soon in terms of power or whatnot, and tried to go after the PC community. But I think a lot of people are using it more general into like talking crap about Xbox. What do you think about the reaction as well?
Let's see. Where do I start? So The cards are nice, fucking super nice, and like the price point is like exactly where we need it to be as gamers. Like that actually pushes the market for console gamers and actually helps us a little bit if you think about it. Like the 2080 was a $1,400 card, I believe, when it first came out, maybe a little more. And that was like the top of the line card you can get at the time, and they're coming in with a card with more power, half the price, in the 3080, and it's like you there's no complaining about like that was aggressive marketing and pricing for them.
Oh yeah,
And I love it. Like even the 3070 is an upgrade from what we have now in the 2080, with the the ray tracing effects and stuff like that we're gonna get out of it. So like anybody who's a PC gamer or just a console gamer, like those cards are like amazing. Like for the price and the power that you're getting out of it, like there's nothing you can complain about with that. People should have kind of known, like PC is where it's at. Like as far as if you want the best graphics,
if you're willing to spend the money, you know what I'm
saying, and you're willing to put the time and the effort and the money into it, like that is like if you want something to look good, PC is where it's at. However, I will say this: PC gamers play some games sometimes that are not as graphically challenging as like I was just playing like the most popular game right now is Fall Guys. Like that's a Switch game. Like,
man, I can't wait for ray tracing on that, man.
Yeah, like I mean, like they're playing games, and when I was watching my gameplay and K Mega was talking, I was like, I just built up this PC and I'm playing Fall Guys. I'm playing fucking Fall Guys, man. I did not buy I'm contradicting myself as I say this. Like I used to say, I didn't buy this expensive ass console to play games like Fall Guys, and here I am fucking playing Fall Guys. So like, I mean, obviously there's other games that are gonna look better.
Trying to get that popularity vote for best gameplay. I already know, bro.
Because I mean, I'm playing the most popular game, of course.
There you go. That's what I thought when I saw it, man.
I mean, like, but that's what I was playing at the time. I was like, I'm playing Fall Guys. It's a fun game. It's like it's a kiddie game that I sit here and again, I'm contradicting myself because I sat here and said, I'm a grown ass gamer. I'm a man. I play man games, and here I'm fucking playing Fall Guys with a fucking $3,000 rig sitting over here. And I'm playing fucking Fall Guys, right? But it's a fun game because, like, and again, like we don't go where the best looking games are. We go where the games that we like and we think are fun, and that was a fun game. Like I played it, and I actually was playing it because my daughter played it too, and she wanted to play it on PC because I don't have the PlayStation anymore. So I got it on there. We played it a little bit, and now she's like, okay, I'm done. Going back to playing. She plays, shooters like me. So she went back and started playing grown man games. And I sat there and continue to play Fall Guys.
And you stayed there with the kiddie games, man. Oh, look
it is,
that.
And it is. It's a kiddie game. It's a fun game. It's something you pick up and like you play for a little bit and you put down. It's a fun game. But I will say this, like as far as PC gamers go, if you want something like, let's say Cyberpunk comes out, right? When it comes out, it's obviously going to look best on PC. And I think what had happened was, as we started getting these specs out for these next gen consoles, they started closing the gap with PC.
Mm-hmm.
And we as console gamers, because I'm still a console gamer at heart, we as console gamers kind of went to those. We started bumping our chest out to these fucking PC guys. Like, motherfucker, I can play your game and it's a 2080. And they came out and said, "Look, sit your ass down, man. Let me show you something." Like, and then they put this card out, and it's gonna make things look better. Like, obviously, when you buy something, and this is just for any PC guy out there, and I'm a brand new PC guy. I've been doing this for like maybe 2 or 3 years. I'm still new to this shit. Anytime something new comes out, it's gonna fuck up everything else you got, right? So like you get a new card, and like my mother, and I just bought my fucking motherboard. I just built my PC, and it's already irrelevant. Like my motherboard doesn't do 4.0 PCIe.
So you won't get full advantage of the card, but
no,
you are going to
still use it, but I can't get the full advantage of it. Like everything in this motherfucker is like top of the line shit. I got a 10. I hate going through specs and shit on the show, but 10900 i9. I got a fucking NZXT fucking awesome fucking cooler with fucking LCD screens on. I got the fucking I mean, like, my shit is legit. Like, I got a nice ass PC.
It's pimping. It's pimping.
Yeah. The only thing I've been missing is my card, and I've been waiting on the new cards to come out, right? Because I built this PC, my original PC I built, I think in 2015, 2016. I had a 980 Ti. I still have a 980 Ti in it because I'm waiting on the card. That's the only thing I'm waiting on. Everything else is brand new, and it's not. Everything now that I have on my motherboard right now is not irrelevant to what is coming out right now. So like that's something you have to deal with as PC gamer. Like when you buy something new comes out and you decide to purchase that, it may not work with everything else that you already have in your system. And that's the fucked up part of being a PC gamer. That's why people like playing on consoles. Because you ain't got to worry about that shit. Now, as a console gamer, you'll buy a console, you go for 5 years. As a PC gamer, you're constantly upgrading. If you have the money, like my build is old and I need it. Like Kim Mega said, his shit was old as fuck. So was mine. I need to upgrade my shit, which I did. And even now, I'm still looking like, I still could have done better. And that's something you're going to deal with PC guys. They're going to tell you every single time when you show your build, there's always a better build out there. Like someone's going to come like, I would have put my dick on this. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And you start researching, like, man, I could have put my dick on that, and I could have got more power. But the thing is, like, when you look at the difference that they're getting out of what you build and what they built, it's like 5 frames. You know, like so, like, it's not.
You gotta get those 5 frames, man. Come on.
Get those frames in. Like, it's just like everybody has a better build, and that's this is something you have to deal with as a gamer. Like, as long as you're happy with what you buy, even now, like the 3090. Who the fuck is gaming in 8K? Who?
Nobody.
Who the fuck is like even thinking about that right now? Most motherfuckers can't even run 1440p.
Mikey Barra.
Like, yeah, like he probably is, but like no, I mean like even when I get to 3080, I'm still gonna be in 1440. Like, I mean, like my monitor only goes to 1440. I'm not buying an 8K monitor. I'm not buying a brand new fucking monitor to game of more 8K air. I'm like, there's no reason. Like this okay, calm down, people. 1440p is fine. 60, 140 frames a second, you're good. But like, why the fuck do you need 8K? Who has an 8K monitor out there? Do you know how much that monitor is going to cost you when they happen to come out? Or a TV? Like, you're not watching movies in that. You're not playing games in that. No one's supporting that right now. So just get your 3080. Just do what you got for a little while and fucking move forward. But like, the cards themselves, like, dude, they're awesome. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and fucking joke about the shit, but it's just pushing things forward into another notch.
Yeah. Real quick before you get into the reaction part, I just want to shout out Dragonheart Yobi one more time for the 2 super chats he put in here. He says, "I'm a main man." Yes,
I'm a main.
Yes, you are, brother. And he says, K Mega, aka the kryptonite to these suckers. That's exactly what he wrote down. It's exactly what I'm saying. And Sir X-Man, one more time with that super chat. He said the game that changed PC graphics was when Gears of War came out for a lowly console called the Xbox 360, and PCs could not compete with that. Facts. Brother.
Yeah, right. There was really no competition in the PC space. They can just compete against themselves.
I mean, the one thing though, that's what I'm saying. The Series X competes. I mean, it's just that like NVIDIA just came out with a fucking
sledgehammer.
A sledgehammer, and it was not aimed at consoles because consoles is not their competition. It was towards AMD.
Although there seemed to be a little dig or comparison to the Series X at one point in time in that presentation. I forgot exactly what was said, but
you know why? Go back to what I said before. Like when everybody started getting the specs of the Series X, it was pushing what a 2080 is doing. It's getting kind of close to it, and so they had to say, "Hey, we need to bump this up a notch." And like, I mean, again, these cars they take years to make. You know, they were probably working on this before. You know, maybe.
Hey, Fred, what was the specs of your motherboard?
I'm running Z.
No, not yours. I'm talking about to run the 3080.
You don't need it. But like, okay, here's the thing.
Because I just got mine. Mine's the Tomahawk. Mine's my 450 Tomahawk.
PCIe 4, right? You don't need it, but it'll work without it. But the thing is, Intel cards are not pushing. They don't have any PCIe 4 cards out.
Okay, I was going
motherboard.
to say they don't have it yet because mine's a PC
Yeah,
out there.
AMD
Okay.
does with PC, but Intel doesn't. So like, I mean, it'll still work, but like I said, you won't be getting the full again. So like, if I decide I wanted to upgrade later, I would have to get a brand new motherboard again.
Jesus, you telling me I got to burn another motherboard?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
You went with Intel, yeah.
He's like, I want to get full functionality here, brother.
Anyway, all right.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as the reaction, it's stupid. Like, it's like they decided to forget about the PlayStation 5, right? Like they only talk about the Xbox side, and it obviously because it's more powerful. But like I hate using the word stands. I'm gonna use it because K-Meg is here.
What?
The stands out there.
Who's stand?
I know
man,
who's stand.
Man, I started this trend, man. Come on, man.
The stands out there. They only talk about like these cards are more powerful than Series X. You don't even need a Series X at this point. Well, like, doesn't that make the PlayStation 5 relevant then?
Didn't they just?
And then they try to throw in. Well, the SSD's fast.
Well, dude, didn't they just come
out
out with an
SSD? Go ahead.
Pred, my bad, but didn't they come out with an SSD that basically kind of like shat all over, kind of like the speed of the SSD?
I didn't read. I saw that. I didn't read into it. I literally just saw it before we started the show. But I think you're right. Like, there's it's with the PC. It's all about the way the everything you have meshes together, right? Like the cooling, the power, the motherboard, everything, like all that. Like I can overclock my motherboard on mine. A lot of people can't do that. Like I can't overclock my chip because I don't have the K, but I can overclock.
Pred flexing right now. He flexing, man.
So like I push my shit up a little bit so I can overclock a little bit. Like I'm running this. I mean, but it's all about how everything meshes in there, right? So like when people sit here and they throw that narrative out there, well, like our SSD is faster. Well, you're still playing in 30 frames per second on some of the games. So like what I say before the show started, like we in the military, we call it hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Hurry up and get there and then slow the fuck down when you get there. We're gonna put you in this line and we're gonna make you wait. Like, and that's basically what you're doing. You're loading fast as fuck, but you're still playing 30 frames a second. And I'm sure there's gonna be 60 frames per second games out there. And everything that we talking about now is gonna mesh at some point. It's gonna work, but how long are we gonna wait for that? Well, like there's PC games out
about
there.
About a year to 2 years, which is why Xbox is cross-gen for that time.
I mean, like, you hurry up and waiting. You're going to hurry up and wait for 2 years, basically, to get the effects of that. So, everything, like I said, it meshes together. But, like, you can't sit here as a fanboy of whatever console and then be like, and completely forget about the other console just to push your narrative. Like, if you're complaining that these cards are so powerful, they make the X look like shit, but yet the PlayStation 5 is less powerful than Series X. So what does that make the PlayStation 5 look like then? Under shit? Like, but least shit? Like,
under
under
so, shit. I mean, I like that.
So people will just like, they're trying to push a narrative. Just like, dude, and here's the thing. Most of those fuckers that they're talking shit are not going to buy a PC.
Facts.
They're not gonna have a PC as powerful as mine or K-Mega's is gonna be. Like they're not. Like you're not. So, like,
you mean like me? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, like, those guys are console gamers. They're always gonna be console gamers, and I've always noticed this.
Damn straight.
As a gamer and as a podcaster, those motherfuckers out there, they're gonna pick one side, Xbox or and I'm knocking on both sides, Xbox or PlayStation. You're gonna pick a console. You're gonna fight for that console. But you should not be stepping into PC space when you have no fucking clue what it takes to run a PC. You're never going to get one. So, like, just stick in your lane, leave the PC separate, and argue with the consoles. Don't try and bring the PC into the shit. You're gonna embarrass yourselves. Just stick with what you know. You're never jumping in this lane. Just stay over there where you're at.
That's what I've seen so far. And shout out to Dragonheart Yobi one more time hitting up that super chat. He said, Killer Instinct 2, please.
Yeah, Sean Murray hit it. He said RTX is running direct storage. So that's what the SSD thing is. I didn't read into it too much, but that's what he's talking about. It's called direct storage.
Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, Crispy, your turn.
All right, yeah, let's go to Crispy on this. Now, Crispy, I pretty much think that when it comes to PC gaming, you're kind of like
that son of a gun right in his head. Damn.
Yeah, when it comes to PC gaming, I kind of think you're like that Drake meme. You're just like I'll pass on all that. But what what did you think about the 30 series, and what do you think about the reaction out there in social media? Now, I do know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Twitter, it's so toxic," but damn, like some people were really getting into it, and it all seemed to be headed towards Xbox for some reason. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man one more time. He said M. Dot to the motherboard is the fastest memory.
Well, that's what I got, Sir X-Men. I got an M.2. I made sure that I got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I got.
All right,
Yeah.
but yeah, Crispy.
That's faster than them SSDs.
Oh goodness, here we go. Welcome to the PC
another
Gaming
D
Podcast,
reference.
man. But yo, as we're saying this, I just want to let people know, and I'm seeing this a little bit ahead of you guys, but the gameplay just went back over to the first, so it went back over to Crispy. So if you haven't been able to check out all the gameplay, definitely keep your eye on the gameplay. It's recycling. It's going back to the first gameplay shown, which is Crispy, then me, then Pred, then K Mega. And what I did, I just put it in order of how I received the gameplay. So Crispy was actually ready last week when it came to the gameplay, so he came first. So definitely check out the gameplay, because you will be able to vote for who had the best gameplay after the show on my Twitter at Xbot448.
Hey, people, I killed mammoths, space creatures.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
And
K Mega, the politician, right now.
I fought Abomination. I mean, come on now. What else?
I outran the cops, bro. Let's go.
Oh!
You're white. You'll live. So, okay. Anyway, let's keep it going. All right.
Damn, bro.
He went there. Oh,
Yo,
no.
he shut it down real quick. Like, there was no answer after that, man. But Crispy, what do you think about what NVIDIA showed in terms of their GPUs? And then, of course, what do you think about the reaction on Twitter and social media, bro?
Well, I mean, it comes down to, we're at a point in time where, people are going to tout their things. Me personally, I can give two shits. Just saying. Don't care. We are in a society right now, especially with newer gamers, that you want to plug and play. You want to play the game. You want to play it the best it can be. You want to play your multiplats or whatever game you want to play the best it can be. Now, when people bring up the fact that, Series X is done, I laugh at that completely, because we are in a society right now that you have to realize that everybody just wants it now. That's the way it goes. They want it now. They don't want to deal with anything else. And the beauty of the Series X is that, yes, it is not on this realm. It is not on the same level as what has just been released. But at the end of the day, it is comparable for what it is.
And it's a huge upgrade to what we have right now.
Huge upgrade. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people, and I say this all the time, I'm like, so you're going to release a next-gen game like Ratchet & Clank, whether it be 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, and I've been playing on my 1X Gears 5 at 60 frames per second the whole damn time. So explain to me why I should upgrade. Now, I get it. It is the exclusive. I understand that. I get it. But guess what? At the end of the day, we're upgrading to get better stuff. Power, frames per second, everything else. That's what we're doing. If we're not getting it, there's a problem. And the problem I have with people is everybody's retweeting that, this is going to destroy Xbox Series X. Well, you might as well throw PS5 in the dumpster then. Jesus. I mean, at the end of the day, what are we saying then?
The funny thing is, the argument on why they're not putting the PS5 into it is actually one of our topics in terms of like Sony bringing games to PC. But their main argument is like day one they'll be able to play Miles Morales, and that game's not guaranteed to go to PC. And from what they're claiming, that if it does go to PC, it's going to take like 2-3 years before that happens. In other words, go ahead.
And what I say to those people is that I understand your exclusives matter, but I mean, Spider-Man the original Spider-Man, has only sold 15 million. If we're being conservative with that, maybe it could be closer to 20 million out of your entire console base, which is 100+ million. We don't even have to be crazy about it. Okay, at the end of the day, the PS4 and the Xbox have been at least breaking even the whole time. What Microsoft is doing is going for software-based stuff. Okay, and they're not afraid to say, "Hey, we're going to release Master Chief Collection on PC." And they're going to Steam too. Think about that. Like a lot of people ignore that. Like they were all about just, let's push the Microsoft store. Guess what? They're going to Steam now, and it's selling. Their games are selling gangbusters, and you have to realize that PlayStation is seeing these things, and they're saying we can make money off this. And that's the whole point. We're not the corporation. They are the corporation. They're saying money, money, money. That's all they care about. And at the end of the day, you can see that people are getting mad that PlayStation is going to say, hey, we're going to release our exclusives to PC eventually. Imagine if they do it day and date. People are going to lose their minds. Okay?
I can't wait to sit there for that.
And they don't even have to release it
Yeah.
They don't even have to release it day and date to PS Now, which would be smart because that would completely bolster their collection. That would make PS Now attractive. And that's the whole point I try to make to people. The reason why Game Pass is so much bigger than PS Now right now is because Game Pass is saying day and date. There you go. And 15, we're probably going to see more studios soon, I think, personally. But 15 studios making games and making multiple games on top of it. And they might not be great, but somebody's going to enjoy them. And that's the whole point. That's the whole it's a Netflix mentality, and I understand, but I'm still subscribed to Netflix because I have those certain shows that I absolutely love and I have to watch. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's where I go and say, you have to understand that everybody is so like convenience. I want convenience. Like I have people that don't even look at my meat case and they walk up to me and say, where's this? And because there's somebody to ask, what am I going to do? I'm going to show them where it is, right? And that's called convenience. Okay? People want convenience.
Man, so doing it. That's how they do it out there in your state, Crispy.
Oh, dude, and literally they won't even look.
Hey, baby, have you seen my all the meat?
Well, we might as well get another penis reference in here. Why not? But at the end of the day, I look at the convenience that the Series X is giving me. I hate that, be honest. If you're going to bring that up, which I didn't even touch it. I didn't touch the whole narrative at all. I didn't even bring it up because at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and trash PlayStation 5. I think PlayStation 5 is going to be a great console, especially for their exclusives, which they constantly push.
But well, they showed what they can do with the PS4 in terms of graphics. When it comes to the games graphically, they showed what they can do with not a lot of power in kind of like today's standards, not a lot of power. So graphically, I think first party when it comes to PlayStation, they are going to be fine. I just hope that they break out of that blueprint scenario and not every game is like heavy emotionally third person camera.
Well, I'll give you the Gears example, okay? Everybody's like, oh, it's going to be up-res or whatever. Gears 5 on the Series X, if you have the goddamn TV, or the monitor, okay, which costs money too. A lot of people ignore that. If you have that, okay, you have the HDMI 2.1, you have all of that. You are going to play Gears 5 at 4K, true 4K, 120 FPS. Think about that.
Sick.
Just think about it.
Sick.
It's funny you're saying that as like I know you can't see it right now, but your Gears gameplay came up as you were saying that, man. That's absolutely amazing. It's like you have.
I have ISP, dude. There you go. I wasn't even looking at my phone either.
But no, it's before because there's a delay. I'm watching OBS as I'm watching just to make sure everything runs smoothly. You guys know me. I wanna make sure the show looks as good as it can. All the way through.
I'm glad you said that. As good as it can on your PC,
dude. I gotta say, I think next podcast has the best presentation out of any of the shows that have gameplay. I'm just saying, man.
I do 1080p. Shit's crispy. Looks fantastic.
I do 1080p as well, man.
If I want to push 4K, I can, but I just don't. I'm saying I got love for you. I don't want to put you in the dirt.
It's like that, bro. It's like that. I can do that too, man. I'm saying. But anyway, like, does your OBS will it push out at 4K though?
It will.
It won't. No, it won't.
Yeah, it will.
No, it won't. I don't know. Maybe it will. I don't know. But then I have to change my bit rates and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
because
you don't know the answer to that question because your PC's not capable.
That's what I was trying to say overall. So yeah,
he went beast mode on it.
Well, check this out, guys, and please let me know if I missed any super chats as well. I think we are up to date. Good shit on that. But guys, let's get into the next topic as well because we have been skirting around it in terms of the topics, especially with the 30 series. But Sony, I think it was in one of their kind of like investment meetings or whatnot. And before I do that, hold on real quick. Let me shout out Jose for hitting up that super chat, and he says, saying hi from Guatemala. First super chat. Love the show. Since launch of Game Pass, a lot of gamers on Latin America had the opportunity to save money. Yo, shout out to you, Jose. First super chat. And from Guatemala. Shout out to Guatemala, man. Absolutely.
Shout out.
Can I comment on that? Can I comment on that real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty awesome. Not the fact that he's coming from Guatemala, but thank you from where you're at, Jose. But like, that's something I didn't think about until I just read this. Like, there's a lot of people who can't afford a $70 game from other countries and whatever the fucking equivalent is. So Game Pass, like some of us Americans might like snick at it, like, oh, that's a cheap. Like, there's other countries out there and other people from other countries who can't afford games the way that we can.
There's people in this country that can't afford
yeah. I mean, you're right.
Like
but
that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit.
But we only think about ourselves because we're American. That's
You're right.
Our shitty demeanor sometimes, like
real shitty demeanor. Yeah,
but like, we don't think about other countries like that, like how they game and how they pay for games. Like I know people from Canada, and they're like $70. That's like $150.
They get butt raped. They get
butt
raped.
That dollar. Yeah, well, in Brazil too, their prices are crazy. That's why they go run with Xbox because the PlayStation is 2-3 times higher out there. So
yeah. So like Game Pass, and I don't know what the price of Game Pass is out there in Guatemala, like in US dollars, like what the equivalent is. But like, even if it's like $30 a month, in their money, that's definitely a lot cheaper than what they would be paying for 8 games a year. You know what I'm saying? Like for what they're getting out of Game Pass. Like, that this is another like one of those things that we don't think about. That's like a little mind fuck we don't think about because us Americans, we don't think about other countries sometimes. But like that's a good point that he put out there. Like Game Pass allows him to play games that he would have had to spend money on. He can try out other stuff, and we typically only think about ourselves here in the States. We forget about the other gamers out there across the globe that are benefiting from Game Pass and or playing their games without having to buy a console. They can play Game Pass on their phone, that they've already purchased. So that's an awesome, like that's another fan-friendly thing that people don't think about.
Nice.
Yeah, that was and I don't sit there and talk about other countries either, but I do sit here and always bring up about the budget gamer and what people have to go because look, let's be real here. Like, there's so many games now that's just coming back to back to back to back. It's crazy.
And shit ain't cheap either, man.
Shit ain't cheap, and then they're gonna raise it up another $10. You know what I'm saying? That's why I laugh at the people that down talks Game Pass because if PlayStation had any type of service like that,
PlayStation.
Oh man, it would go. You're right, and it would
Dude,
go.
like, seriously, I would
absolutely
probably buy one. That's what
bananas.
I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying because this is what the future is allowing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, games are going up, and then people are making these decisions and wanting to, they got bills to pay, they got children, they got whatever, or hell, they're just in college, or they're just getting out in the world. Hell, it's just, what I'm saying, the dollar is short. So why not be all in support for what Game Pass is doing? So PlayStation could go ahead and do the same thing. So Nintendo could do the same thing. This whole mindset of thinking that because this is trash or game fodder. I'll tell you what, I'll take the game fodder any day, you know what I'm saying, because it's helping my pockets.
Yo,
and
not only that, to the college people out there, you have a system, you get Game Pass, you can spend all that extra money on more liquor and more alcohol for your parties, man. You know what I'm saying?
That couch co-op, homie.
No, you need to sit your ass at home. No couch, no going out, no partying, none of that. You can get some liquor, but
As long as you ain't driving, I'm good with it. That's all I say.
Yo,
Don't
shout
drive.
out to Dragonheart Yobi one more time, hitting up that super chat, and he said, "Bets check, K Mega's gaming streams, butter smooth." Brother, I would watch his streams more, but there is a scary person in the bottom left-hand side of his streams that I just can't. I don't know who it is, man, but he creeps me out, and I can't watch it, yo.
Who's the scary person in the what? Oh, you talking about me? Oh shit! You just mad because I got facial hair.
You kind of creepy, yo.
I got facial hair. You don't.
Yeah. Dude, I got that chin strap, man. It looks butter smooth, bro. Butter smooth.
You got hair like a rat. Shut up.
Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting that super chat one more time. K Mega, give me a Battletoad yell. So K Mega, I guess.
Because this is my gameplay. Oh no, this is your gameplay. All right, so let me try to do this.
All right, let's hear it.
Battletoad!
Yo, he is massacring that on purpose. Yo, brother, this is how you gotta go. Battletoad!
All right, let's go to the next topic.
Pred, did you want to throw one out there, Pred? You want to?
Unlike you, that hurt my balls, so that's why I couldn't do it.
I could try.
Go ahead.
All right,
Battletoads!
Not bad. Definitely better than K Mega, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there, man. But all right, guys. So Sony, in an investment report, a report to their investors, talked about their importance and they're kind of going all in on bringing more PlayStation games, to PC. And the reaction, I saw at least one person starting with death threats and bomb threats in terms of Sony and what they're doing in terms of looking towards the future and, kind of getting the most revenue as possible and dipping into that PC space. Not only that, I saw a lot of deniers out there in terms of, well, they're not going to put the games in date and all that good stuff. Now, I've gone on record, and K Mega has been right there with me on this, that when you look at the end game to this whole thing, Microsoft and Sony want to pretty much go in the same direction in terms of gaming and streaming services, stuff like that. That is their end goal. And I feel like, with going into the PC space and creating more revenue that way, instead of trying to entice the PC gamer to buy the hardware where they don't really make money off that anyway, they decided to take that part of the equation out of it and to put more of their PlayStation first-party games on PC. Let's start with Pred on this one. Pred, what do you think about Sony's announcement here? Do you think that this was, bound to happen? It was right around the corner anyway. What do you think about them, going more heavily into PC? Do you think at some point in time it's going to be day and date? Basically, what I put in for the topic is, how long do you think it's going to take for Sony to basically fully mimic what Xbox is doing in terms of their services, in terms of their games going to PC and whatnot. Because me personally, I think it's only a matter of time. It's something that I've been saying for a long time now. The only thing that I can see is Sony, they're more spoon feeding their consumer base this. They're giving bits and pieces out gradually and trying to get their consumer base more comfortable with all this at a slower pace. But what do you think, bro?
So it was bound to happen. We've kind of seen them start putting games in PC anyway. There is too much money to be made by putting their games on PC. Period. Whether they do it with PS Now first or to put it on Steam or whatever the hell else they want to put it on. I think they have a partnership with Epic to some degree, with Epic buying like, what was it, 30-40% of their something like that. Wasn't Epic? Am I tripping?
Yeah, no, it was definitely Epic. Yo, real quick before these get out of hand, can I just do this real quick? First off, shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, "Lord, I am so sorry." Brother, sometimes you get what you pay for, bro. You get what you pay for. Yo, shout out to Dragonheart Yobi. He said, "Not facial hair, lathered, shagged rug." Yo, are you talking about my beard? Or I think you're talking about K. I'm gonna go. You're talking about K Mega.
Bro, you got no.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with, man. I'm gonna go with. He was definitely talking about K Mega on that. Yo, shout out to the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell. He said Xbox Battletoad shout is better. K Megas just reminds me that I must do X-rated things to his Spartan. So be prepared for that when Infinite drops, bro.
Man.
Shout out to Sean Murray, my brother Sean. Good to see you, brother. I just caught the message you sent me on Xbox today. I do apologize. I didn't catch that earlier, bro. We will definitely get together in Destiny 2. But he says, way to go. See X-Man, great Battletoads from everybody. What's up, Xbot 448? What is up, Sean
I think you meant
Murray?
Sir X-Man.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Sir X-Man. Yeah, way to go, Sir X-Man. Great Battletoads from everybody. Except for K Mega. He forgot to type that in there. You know, it might be a typo or something like that.
Listen, I just do that to be a dick to you because I try to sound like you. I can do. Okay, let me do it right then. All right, fuck it. All right,
Battletoads!
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? You see, I hit that chest. I'm a man, baby. Let's get it.
Your voice.
I think I was better than both of you. Just saying.
Probably were.
You can't be better than the originator, brother. I am sorry. I
didn't say you. I said both of them.
Going on. Listen to that.
We're gonna have a Battletoads battle cry, contest.
I need a bleed.
The game is released. There's no more Battletoads battle cries.
I need a bleed edge or a Tekken battle cry. That's what we need.
That was it.
Yo, what is up, Noble? But yeah, my bad about that, man. It was about to get out of hand, Pred. So go ahead and complete your thoughts here.
Me too. I was at. Okay, so I was talking about the games coming, the PlayStation games coming to PC. It was inevitable. I mean, like there's too much money to be made there, and I think they see the success that Microsoft has had, like when they put a game on Steam, and even if it's not there forever, like it's usually in the top 20. You know, like whether it's fucking Minecraft or Grounded or like Flight Simulator or something like that. Like their games, they're doing particularly well on PC. It doesn't matter how you look at it. They're in the top 20, which is a lot better than they were doing. And I know you hate to hear this, but a lot better than they're doing on MPD on consoles. They're doing better on Steam sometimes. So, day and date, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're a ways off from that, mainly because I think they were a little smarter than what Microsoft did. Microsoft kind of had to do that. Sony doesn't because they have market share. Now, if you start seeing a gap closing between, the Series X and the PlayStation 5 where people are kind of like they're neck and neck, they may go that route. But right now they're selling every game they come out with pretty much for this past year or so have been selling like hotcakes because they have so many consoles out there. So there's no need to put them on their day and date. The thing about PC gamers, they're patient as fuck. Like they will wait. They'll wait till that game comes out. Like
Well,
they'll
dude, if
sit
you
there
spend
and-
$2,000 on your system that you're gaming on, you should be patient. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
they're gonna wait. They'll sit there and they'll play Fortnite and they'll play fucking whatever game that was I was playing a while ago.
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. They'll play shit like that for a year and master it and play the same old games and master them until a new game comes out that they want to play that they don't want to pay high dollar for it. If they're gonna wait, like I mean, they could easily, if you're gonna spend $3,000 on a PC, you can easily go out there and buy a $500 console, or even now, like if a $250 fucking PlayStation 4, Pro, you can buy that now and play their exclusives. PC gamers ain't doing that shit. If they're hardcore PC gamers, they're like, fuck it, I'll wait. It's gonna come. It's gonna come at some point in time. I'll wait. So like they waited for, they're gonna wait for God of War when it happens. They waited for Horizon. They're gonna wait for all this shit, and they'll sit back and chill until this shit comes out on PC, or they'll get an emulator, or they'll wait till someone fucking make something. Like they will do that shit. So like the smart thing for Sony to do is not necessarily day and date, but maybe 3 months. After the game releases, when they decide to put a price drop on it,
Damn,
I think they
months
did.
should just as well
3 to
be
6
day
months,
and
yeah.
date, man.
Yeah, I even then I think that's pretty soon. But
That's
I-
launch window, Pred.
Oh, the window!
I would. 3 months is like. Like if they want maximum money out of it, like I would do it then. But if they want to wait a year, I don't know what the sales figures were for like Horizon and stuff like that on PC. I'm sure they're
like three.
they were decent. Like because people who didn't have a PlayStation 5 decided to pick it up on there. But like they're going to be decent sales numbers. But this is what I'm afraid of with Sony, specifically Sony. They push out an edition, a definitive edition, and they put it on PC, and then they resell it as a definitive edition on PlayStation 5 for $60. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, they will.
yeah, and that's my fear. Like they'll I don't know.
Triple dip.
Yeah, they'll triple dip basically. Like, oh, we added this new DLC that you can only get on the PlayStation 5 and PC with this definitive edition, and then people who love that game, again, a single player game, they'll go out and they'll buy it because they won't offer it as a
That
DLC.
would be grimy. I can't sign off on that. And I know Sony, and I know these corporations. When it all comes down to it, they're all about money. But that would be grimy.
Ooh, but that's what they did last gen. They sold everybody the same game again on PlayStation 5. It wasn't DLC. It was a remaster, is what they put the name on there, right? So like, oh, we remastered this for PC with, now it's in PS5 specs, and we gave you an extra level, and we're going to charge you $60 for it.
Ooh,
And that's my fear. And I said this months ago. That I feared that was going to happen, and I still think that they will do some grimy shit like that.
Pred, look at this PGA Tour gameplay right here, man. I'm knocking them from all angles right now. I'm just saying.
I knock shit from all angles too.
But that's interesting. It's something I didn't think about. Like, and again, I still.
And nothing's
grimy.
compatible, right? For PlayStation 4, from the PlayStation 5, like the first 100 games ish, but we don't know when those 100 games ish.
I think that is a misconception. What I'm hearing when it comes to that 100 or nearly 100, it's not that those games are just backwards compatible, but they're actually taking advantage of the PlayStation 5's hardware. So you're going to see, better graphics. You're going to see, higher frame rates and stuff. I think that's where the almost 100 games at launch, I think that's where that is. I'm kind of leaning more towards the rumor that technically all PlayStation 4 games will be playable on the PS5. It's just what games are going to get that bump in resolution in graphics and stuff like that. I
Well,
think that's
let me go down this rabbit hole for a minute. Okay.
Uh-oh.
How many
Tinfoil hat.
exclusive PlayStation 4 games were there?
At launch or all together?
Just all together.
Oh,
exclusive. Not including VR. Just go with the regular games. Just ballpark figure.
You talking about a launch?
I would say 12.
You talking about a launch?
From launch until Ghost of Tsushima.
Are we counting Godzilla?
If you have to, go ahead. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I don't need specific
Damn
numbers.
it.
Just give me a ballpark.
I would say
figure.
I'd say 20 altogether.
20. So who is it on to make the other games compatible on PlayStation 5?
Well, I think the x86 architecture it makes it playable.
Was it automatic on the PlayStation? I mean, sorry, on the Xbox to go from Xbox 360 to
It was different architecture.
Was it?
Yes.
Was it 86 or was it
360 was Power PC.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Whose job is it to make that game compatible?
I think they will inherently, and I think this goes for Xbox One games as well. Inherently, I think they can run on the newer systems because of the x86 architecture. But in terms of adding extra bells and whistles, I think that's where the work comes in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To increase the graphics and all
again,
that.
you're saying think, and I'm saying think because we don't know. But
Yeah.
like, let's assume that it's going to run the same, as it did on the PlayStation 4, on the PlayStation 5. And even if we don't assume that, you have to assume that there's got to be some kind of work put into it at some point. And this is why I wish Don was here. Like he can answer these questions for me.
Damn it,
and he'll
Don.
say, yeah, you got to put this kind of work in to make this shit work from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. I don't have an answer to that question, but I would almost assume that there's got to be somebody behind a door in a closet somewhere that's got to push a button and scratch his balls and make it work on the PlayStation.
At the same
5.
time, by the way. At the same time, he's got to do that.
And somebody's got to do that. It isn't just going to be like snap your fingers,
Rub your head, tap your nose.
it ain't automatic.
Snap your
So
fingers.
like, and then you're talking about the 30 games that were PlayStation exclusives, but what about the other 70 that weren't? What about those third-party games? Like, are they gonna put the time and effort into putting that game on PlayStation?
The ones with
5
marketing deals, I'm pretty sure they'll do that. You know what I'm saying? To kind of
We can
please
hope.
the publisher. Please
But
the
who's
publisher.
playing? I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's gonna, even if it's 100, I don't think it's gonna be the way that they made that difference between the Xbox into the new Xbox series. I mean, Xbox One X, whatever, where they put the work in. Like the developers had to put the work in to do that before.
Well,
That's my only question.
It would be nice if we actually got some information from Sony when it comes to backwards
Yeah,
compatibility.
so we
as
would
well.
have to ask these questions. Right?
Yeah.
So like, but
in
we don't know.
September, by the way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know what the plan is, and we're assuming they say 100 games. We're assuming that it's going to be all their games, the most recent games, the most popular games from that generation, and the games that have recently released, like Ghost of Tsushima, stuff like that, Last of Us, et cetera, et cetera. We're assuming those games are going to come. Let's add those into the mix. But what about the others? Because if they've only had 25 to 50, I'll say 30. I'll say 30 just for shits and giggles. And we don't even know if they're counting VR in that. So let's say we'll give them a ballpark. We'll say 30, right? We'll say 30 exclusive games.
Seems fair.
What about the other 70? Like, who's putting that work in for those 70 games? And that's the only thing I'm asking right now. We don't know. And like you say, you think it's going to be like a snap, I Dream of Genie head bob type cross your arm shoulder shit. We don't know that.
No, I think and again, this is what I think. Because of the x86 architecture, I think any PS4 game you'll be able to either slide the disc in or download and play, and will
it be up-res?
So in some instances, because of the more powerful kind of like system itself.
Yeah. You assume it's automatic.
Well, that's
what you're saying. You're assuming it's automatic. That's what I'm saying. You don't know.
There's some things that can definitely happen. Like in terms of frames, if you have a game that was having issue like hitting its proper frame rate, now you have more power under the hood. So it'll kind of like even out frame rates, and you'll get a better performing game. Stuff like that can happen just by playing it on, the more powerful system. But
I really just had a thought.
Uh-oh.
Maybe you should go to me next.
All right. Well, real quick,
I'm done. Yeah, you can go to him.
Let me shout out to the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell who hit up that super chat one more time, and this is to my brother K Mega. He said better. He's like, I will downgrade back to PG-13 for your Spartan, K Mega. That's basically what he said on that one. So you got to feel happy about that.
Damn.
Battletoads!
Oh no,
Went back now.
You went to Skinamax rating on that one. It wasn't.
Yeah. Because you never know. Okay, Mega might be into that freaky shit and might do it to you.
Oh no,
you're Spartan.
Oh. Yo, he tried to flip. He tried to do a 180 on that one. Yo, Sir X-Man also hit up the super chat one more time. Thank you, brother. I do appreciate the support. He says, K Mega, Battletoad in your sexy voice. Oh
wow.
No. You get
Battletoads.
Oh.
What's up, ladies? I think I want to just set the night.
The Quiet Storm with K
As we set the quiet, we set the mood.
Shitty ass Oklahoma.
As Oklahoma, as the people in Oklahoma, as we whoop Texas's ass all the time. But that's not for this. This is for the Texas ladies out there. We're going to give you one time, just one time only. Battletoads.
Oh,
they'll be like, Texas does it better.
Sir X-Man, I blame you for all of that. 100%, all of that right there. That's all your
ladies
fault.
all around the world.
Yo, that is all
Battletoads.
your fault, bro. But all right, let's go to Crispy on this. Again, Sony, they let it be known that they are going to invest more, bringing PlayStation games to PC. And, of course, there was a reaction, at least one really extreme reaction, and then a lot of deflections. Now, I feel it's only a matter of time before they do day and date. Again, I feel like Sony is spoon-feeding their consumer base and kind of guiding them into the direction that they want to go in terms of PlayStation for the future. But I got to ask you, Crispy, your thoughts on this. And you said you just had a thought, and we're dying to know what that is as well, bro.
Oh, well, you're always dying to know what my thoughts are.
Hashtag Crispy Truth, baby.
Because sometimes they're out of the realm, tinfoil hat status. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it this way. PlayStation, for their exclusives, they're using proprietary engines, correct? I mean, they really never tout the engines they use, but at the end of the day,
but Death Stranding was used on was created on one of those engines, and that went over to PC no problem.
But at the end of the day, I feel like because a lot of people said that didn't run right on PC. Also, Horizon Zero Dawn didn't run right on PC. I look at 9 studios using Unreal. Unreal is a cross-platform engine.
Mm-hmm.
A total even mobile, for the love of God.
We can argue most popular game engine to develop on. It's right up there. Like that and Unity are like the top 2.
And most of the games that are at least running Unreal, or they at least use the technology that they see that Unreal is using, because clearly so many studios are going to use it. I think about, maybe PlayStation's a little behind, and maybe they're touting it as something that, they don't want to do, but at the end of the day, they really want to do, because you think about it, and like, the only reason why I keep saying Gears 5 would run at 120 frames per second is because it already does on PC. Just to let you know. So,
I thought you've been saying that just because you're a massive Gears head, man.
Well, I know things, but I've already said it a long time ago, and they already confirmed it. So at the end of the day, I mean, who's right? Come on. But the fact is that I feel Microsoft is going into a cross-platform realm, especially with their exclusives, and they feel, regardless of their, apparently epic likes PlayStation more only because they're not buying their engine. That's the way I look at it. But at the end of the day, they're using it because it is very, coinciding with every type of gaming that they want. And if you ignore the fact that, next gen, you'd be like, next gen's not going to play on the xCloud. Well, you're forgetting that the servers are getting upgraded as they go. So the servers are eventually all going to be Series X. Okay. And a lot of people are ignoring this. But at the end of the day, you have to realize
I think they're going to
that
be Series S, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to be Series X in terms of the.
Well, I mean, they've already
server farms.
they confirmed it at GDC that it was going to be Series X.
Oh, damn.
So they already confirmed that. I mean, it was hard to watch. I mean, it was almost as bad as Mark Cerny. Just the dude that was presenting it was a little more entertaining. But at the end of the day, I don't know all the tech talk. All I know is he said, "This is what we're doing to these blades." They showed this one of the server blades that they're upgrading. So,
oh yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, so I believe them because Microsoft at the end of the day is being very transparent. They're letting you, break down. They're letting even smaller YouTubers, not just necessarily, some of the bigger ones, just do it. You know what I mean? And show the people what they're doing with this console. And what I think is that the reason why they're using this engine so much, because I think it's 9, if I'm not mistaken, 9 exclusive Xbox Game Studio developers are using Unreal. And they've already said that it's going to be upgraded to Unreal 5 almost seamlessly. This is what Microsoft is about. They're about the software, okay? Because this is Epic actually helping them for once and saying, hey, this is going to happen. And that's where I go and say, we see certain games that are run on Unreal. I believe that Halo Infinite should have been ran on Unreal. They should have left Slipspace alone because you're going to spend all that money and you haven't done nothing with it, and people are not impressed at the end of the day. So they originally were going to run it on Unreal. A lot of people didn't read into that article, but it's there. You can find it. And you have to understand that they want to release things to PC because at the end of the day, you make more money on more consoles. The Minecraft is the prime example of this. Minecraft has made Microsoft billions.
Oh, yeah.
Just about at this point. So I don't think they're opposed. Like, they're testing the water right now. They're like, oh, Outer Worlds, because it was developed before we bought them. It's exclusive. But if Outer Worlds continues, like Outer Worlds 2, oh, you know what? We're going to release it on every console. Or we're going to release it on, our console and PC because it matters to people, and then that will get them to buy the console. That's up to them. They've already established this. They've already said it's established. Like, we will do what we want, and we just want gamers to enjoy what we bring out. And I understand PlayStation gamers like exclusive, and I get it. You do have good. I want to play Ghost of Tsushima. I really do, but I'm not going to buy a console for one damn game. And
Don had a rule. He called it the rule of 3, I believe. That there had to be 3 games that you just absolutely had to want to play in order to, and this was his way of thinking, in order to kind of like justify the purchase of a console.
Okay. So if I had 3 games, all right, on PlayStation that not only had a great single player, which I know Ghost of Tsushima has at this point, after the reactions, after the Xbox, supposed Xbots that, shit on every PlayStation game and absolutely love that game.
Yeah.
tell me that this game is worth it. And all I want, I know I could spend up to, like, because I'm very in place. I want to do everything I possibly can do. That's the way I roll with a game like that. But at the end of the day, can I spend another 50 to 100 hours on the multiplayer? And a lot of people ignore that. But I remember PlayStation being a huge, great system for single player and multiplayer. And I feel they've lost that. And I call them out for it because I've spent days upon days on games on Xbox because they're multiplayer also. And that's what I hate, is that nobody, you don't want to play multiplayer. I get you not getting an Xbox. I understand it completely, because at the end of the day, the single player exclusives are better on PlayStation. But why are we getting regarded that you got IGN being like, Gears 5, hey, all right, single player gets this score, multiplayer gets this score. Well, are we going to downgrade PlayStation for not having a multiplayer?
Crispy, it's really interesting what you're saying here, but I'm wondering what this has to do with Sony, putting their games on PC. Like, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not hearing the connection to the topic here.
Because they don't have multiplayer centric games.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, okay, a lot of PC players also play multiplayer. And not only that, their engines are proprietary, and that is, I think, what's holding them back a little bit. And I don't know if they're going to change that, but when, a lot of people don't say nothing about Horizon because they don't want to call it out, but I've had a lot of PC gamers, that I follow.
Horizon was
this thing
boring AF to me.
Well, no, and I'm talking about the way it ran on PC. You know what I'm saying? It didn't run right, and actually, Death Stranding didn't run right either. Okay, what I'm saying is that I don't feel that they're going to get to a point as of now. So instead of saying, especially the stands, because K-Mega's here, and that's what he likes to call them. The stands are going to call out and say, well, either they didn't like that they did it, or they liked it and it ran great, or they don't say a word about it. But at the end of the day, it didn't. And we could sit there and call out that originally when Halo Master Chief Collection released on there, it didn't run great, but it ran.
Well, Master Chief Collection didn't run great when it was first launched either. Let's be real on that one, man.
Yeah, and exactly. But I think it has to do with the engine.
And that was built. That was built in Unreal, or is?
No, I don't believe so.
I gotta look into that one, man. But so Crispy, what do you think in terms of, again, you've heard me before, and I have stated this. I feel that people are kind of blinded to a point that I feel that Sony inherently wants to go the same direction as Xbox. And of course, when it comes down to it, it looks like they're just moving at a slower pace. They're kind of spoon feeding their consumer base. I think we're seeing another sign of it now with their
Unreal Engine 4.
It was Unreal?
Yeah.
I knew that, man, but I wanted to make sure before I absolutely said that. But so Crispy, do you think that Sony is basically gonna end up imitating Xbox in terms of their streaming service, in terms of day and date, their first party games coming out on PC? And if so, how long do you think it's going to take before they get to that point where they're absolutely imitating the Xbox platform?
It's going to be about 3 years. That's what I'm thinking.
But you think they are going to do that?
They are going to do it once they figure out how to port it. That's the whole point. Like, everybody ignores the fact that Sony's been making their exclusives for their one console.
And it's been okay. Now everything kind of goes full circle with what you're saying. So you were saying with their proprietary engines that porting over to PC has been rough with the games that they have put over there.
Exactly, and they're almost testing. It's almost like I say, 1X at $299 was testing for the Series S. That's what I'm saying. Like, they know what they're doing, and I'm not going to say here in BS. Like, Sony wants to put out quality. They do.
Make money.
That's but at the end of the day, they also want to make money.
Yes.
And we can say here, and you can say whatever you want, but as far as the corporation's concerned, Microsoft got money to spend,
and they still want to make more.
And they want to make more. I mean, that's the whole point of it. But at the end of the day, they have money that they can say investment,
mm-hmm.
and that's what they do. Like you see them putting hands in cookie, like Samsung and everything else. Like they're putting hands in cookie jars because they know that at the end of the day, this investment could pay off. And that's when you go into the stocks and you go futures and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like
you said stocks, and Pred's ears just like perked up real quick. Like what?
But it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, you could sit here and be like, is it about my wallet or their wallet? And I'm only calling out that they think about their wallet and I think about mine. And one thing that Microsoft gives me is a Game Pass or something else. But at the end of the day, if I bought a PC, I would love to be able to play those games on there too. If I have it, you know what I mean? Why not? I mean, it just makes sense. I know it's far-fetched, kind of a crazy way of thinking, but I feel like, that's why Microsoft's really going all in on Unreal, even though they kind of shit on them, with the tech demo and all that. So
yeah, but when it comes down to it, like you want to build games on an engine that's easy to use, that and stuff like that.
And it graphically looks great, and you can use it for multiplayer and single player.
Yeah,
and we know that's what Microsoft's all about. So, I mean, it makes sense, and that's why they had their back against Apple, right?
Yeah,
nobody remembers that.
Crispy, the cool thing about this is you gave us some fat to chew on with that, because I never thought about that in terms of like the Decima engine and the engines that Sony are using, and how the porting over has been rocky. Like they want to get there, but they also got to make sure that their ports are working as they go to PC. I mean, there's some stuff to really kind of get in there and think about for the people who like to think about that sort of thing. And that's definitely us on the panel. So that is very interesting, brother. I do want to get K-Mega in on this, and then, we can kind of wind the show up, all together, put it in a nice kind of like, wrap it up like a present and put it out there to the rest of YouTube. So, K-Mega, you heard, like, I think it was really interesting what Crispy said. Of course, Predator comes in, definitely, he's not afraid to share his opinions on it. I think that we're having some, good conversation here. What do you think about, Sony investing on putting more games in PC? I know me and you have been, again, we've been on that same highway, driving to the same destination when it comes to, it looks like, Xbox and Sony wanna they want to do the same thing in the long run here. With this, I think it's another sign that they are definitely going that route. But I want to know what you think, and if you think it is true, like how long will it be until Sony and PlayStation are inevitably just mimicking the Xbox platform altogether?
This is the thing that I look at it as. They're definitely going to go this route. They wouldn't have done it if they didn't see potential into it. So they're going to go. It's just like what you were saying earlier. They're going to spoon feed, because they know if they just try to drive it down a PlayStation gamer's throat, then that's going to cause a rift.
There's already one PlayStation extremist bomb
Well, there's
threats,
more.
death
Well, there
threats.
was more. There was a person that when Horizon Zero Dawn, it was his birthday, and he tore up his TV and his PlayStation. He just acted a crazy. So no, there's those. I mean, you can't help the mentally ill. That's can't help that. That's just crazy. But there was something that ATL said, and I was already thinking it, but he just put it out better in his words. He said the stockholders will start to demand PC releases. And that's what like I said, I was going to say it a little bit differently, but he is absolutely right. See, PlayStation put themselves in a precarious situation now. They have a fan base that demands that they keep to traditional to keep to the traditional gaming style.
Cater only to console.
Right, because they presented that to them as what PlayStation was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the thing. This is business, and this is what businesses do to you, or in this politicians, anything. That was last gen, guys.
Yeah.
This is new. This is the PlayStation 5. We did what we told you guys we were going to do last gen. I mean, we didn't start putting our games on PC until at the very end of the gen. We did what you told us. You didn't want backwards compatibility, so we didn't give it to you. But we're going to give it to you somewhat now. I mean, come on, guys. That's
new generation, new marketing tactics,
new marketing, new slogans, new everything.
Mm-hmm.
Once I knew that PlayStation was going to go all out for this and start putting their games on the PC is when they changed that logo. I pointed that out. I even made a video about it. Of course, I got the same scrutiny that I always get. It's just a logo. It doesn't mean anything. You got to listen to the words of what Jim Ryan said. And for the other person, I can't think of the other person's name, but you just go back to that Game of Sutra video. I mean, not video, but article, and he says it plain as day. When we send our games out, we want people to see and know where those games came from. Now, what sense does that make if they're just going to keep putting the games on the same console? Because, I mean, we already know if you want to put it on a PlayStation only, then it's going to be on a PlayStation. Right there was just making the point that they're going to go further. They already got games in the mobile space that came to mobile first, and now they're sending it to PlayStation now. That's another thing that they've been dabbing in. Remember, there was an Uncharted that was on mobile. There was a God of War on mobile. There was other games that was on mobile. So they can start going their way, maybe even trying to progress PS Now to kind of go into the xCloud realm of wanting to try to do streaming.
Real quick on that, fun speculation. Yeah. I hate to tell you this. He says, and this isn't a super chat or anything. It's just something I saw in the chat. I'll say that if PlayStation turned PS Now into what Game Pass Ultimate is becoming, it would be sick. Dude, that's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly what they're
about
do.
About a year ago, between a year and a half ago, they were hiring people to reinvent PlayStation Now, to basically add in those features, really kind of solidify that streaming service. And if you notice, we haven't heard a lot about that, and that's because they are keeping it under wraps. They will unveil it when they feel it's time to unveil it. But again, spoon feeding their consumer base. Like, it came out that they were doing this, but let that kind of go and behind the scenes for a while. You know what I'm saying?
And let's not ignore that they rebranded to PlayStation Studios, correct?
That's exactly what K-Mega was stating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So they're branching out, and they're going to start putting their games out. See, the whole thing now is that, like I said earlier about the narratives that stands make is just absolutely asinine. It's because, their games aren't day and date. Again, like I said earlier, okay, there's these badass graphics cards right there available here coming in September. In 3 years from now, you don't think that AMD or Nvidia is going to come up with better graphic GPUs? You know what I'm saying? To where those PlayStation games will be available if they do drop Spider-Man and Miles Morales then a little bit later, then that means that they'll see those games even better than what the old previous cards. People are going to be talking about, oh man, the 380, trash. You still got a 380. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, you peasant. You know, so that's the thing again, where the stands, they hurt themselves by trying to cap so much on Xbox when they need to be worrying about their own
Mega, you
situation.
and
in their
you
own backyard.
know, if games like the next God of War and the next The Last of Us, if they had a streaming service where those games were in there day one, right? They would be happy as hell, man.
Yeah.
Let's be
No,
real.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. See, that's what I was saying, going back to what ATL was saying, is that look, they're testing the market. And go back to what if you go back to what, Quantum Break, Gears, when Gears 4 first dropped on PC, those games didn't run well at all. Those games did, because those were kind of like those first wave of games that were coming on the PC. And when Xbox started this whole thing, and those games didn't run well, they had a lot of problems. So look at them now. They're running fantastic. And from my understanding now is that Death Stranding is actually running really good right now. But Horizon Zero Dawn still has problems. It needs some more patches. But that's just the first hiccups. But the game still but I don't know what Death Stranding has done, but we know that Horizon Zero Dawn did well on Steam. It jumped up to #1 once it was released. So right there, that's going to get those investors to be saying, you know what, Sony? Just like what MLB hit their ass with.
Oh yeah.
You know what, Sony? It's time for you to start expanding the brand. We sit there and we've allowed you to do what you've been saying that you're going to do, but the old traditional way of gaming is now dead. It's time for you to start start doing what the competitors are doing, because, like it or not, Xbox, if they hold on, let's say that PlayStation doesn't, do this same format that they did with the PlayStation 4, with the PlayStation 5, by the end of the generation, Xbox will have that market share because of xCloud and Game Pass alone.
Oh damn, that's a powerful prediction right there.
Well, I'm gonna remember this one.
I mean, just look, you just had somebody from Guatemala tell you about Game Pass. Think about this for a
shout
second.
out to that, dude.
Yeah,
Shout
out to Jose. Shout out to Jose. But just think about that. They will on the market, and I'm not the only one that's predicting this, because I've heard even other people say this as well in the market space, is that, look, this is the future. You cannot neglect millions upon millions of other people that would love to play those games, and if the only thing that's available is xCloud and Stadia or whatever Apple might draw, and Xbox is going to destroy it, because then Xbox already has the infrastructure. They got the cloud service, and they also have they're the first ones to really implement it this way. You know what I'm saying? Beyond what PS Now was when it first came out. It would be a wrap. So Sony and then those investors will have to Sony would have no choice but to buckle. And that's why and that's the one reason why you brought it up, is that that's why this is another reason why they signed up with those Azure service and did that partnership. And so the whole way we thought of how gaming is supposed to be is going to be flipped on its head. It will be different, because Sony will not, I don't think, fully go day one. You know what I'm saying? I still think that they'll still milk that cow with the console. Yeah, it's a ways off for Sony for sure, because of the fact that they still need that console space to still stay relevant. Xbox doesn't need. Microsoft doesn't need the Xbox to stay relevant. They got Windows. They got Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? They are PC. So the point of the matter is that for them it's what I said. If you don't want Xbox to go away, the gaming public, the gamers who love Xbox, need to continue to buy them, because it's only going to go by what the people have, the people who support Xbox, how they're going to play out. If they decide that they want to quote unquote follow all this supposed hyperbole stuff about, well, we're just going to go ahead and build a PC and go to PC, then Xbox will be like, okay, well, if everybody wants to go to PC, then we don't have to worry about making an Xbox anymore.
Well, K Mega, just that right there. That's one thing I want to iterate. And you're right.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, Microsoft doesn't need Xbox to be relevant, but when you hear what Phil Spencer says and how many billions of gamers that he wants to distribute services to or whatnot, that's the reason why we still have a console, because, console gamers, there's a lot of console gamers that are just
Right.
console
Like
gamers.
me.
But at the maximum though, it's only around if everybody's doing really well, it's around 300 million gamers. Which I mean, that's a lot of fucking people. But
Yeah.
I'm saying that's only around 300 million. When you have
Billions.
what 5 billion. You got, well, if you add both mobile phones, you have around 10 to 12 billion people who has cell phones,
So
and you
Phil's
have
aiming low
anywhere
with
from
that 6 to 7 billion. Then he's aiming low.
I thought he said 2 billion.
Oh, well, maybe 2.
Yeah, and so and then but PC gamers, PCs out in the world, I think it's around 5 billion, and I think for like gamers it's around maybe around I don't know, a billion people or something like that plays games on their PCs.
What's up, Psychonauts?
So,
My bad.
so when you look at that, you have 300 million. That's why right now you look at what Sony is doing with their console of having. Crispy said it best in the beginning when he was making his point. You have 150, you have 120 million consoles sold, and Spider-Man is their biggest game, and it only sold anywhere. It sold 17 million copies. That attach rate is awful. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, the money that they made off the game is fantastic, but when you look at the attach rate, it doesn't compute. So when you put that Spider-Man on PC, then you gain another 3 to 6 million, maybe even 10 million sales. Now you really made incredible money,
especially with the Spider-Man IP.
Yeah, especially with the IP, and then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, you people are buying those games damn near almost at full price. Not so much at full price, but if they start, but that's the reason why they could get away with it if they do what they did with Death Stranding, and do it like 6 to 8 months later, like within that year, instead of waiting for 2 or 3 years.
Actually, I want to cut you off real quick.
Okay,
imagine because you want on PC. Imagine Miles Morales with the original Spider-Man on PC for $60. I think that would sell games.
Oh, that's gonna sell like gangbusters. I'd buy it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's where the money is in software and then it's going to destroy their dreams of the stands, because they're always capped about the hardware, and then Sony is telling you were wrong, and that's just the bottom line. Xbox just went away from it for a long time ago. So that's the thing, is that I don't think that they'll do they might do day and date for smaller titles, but not so much for the bigger titles, because they want the console to get all the revenue. But I do feel that they're going to shorten that length. They're not going to go as far as especially 2 or 3 years, because it's going to go by what the game is selling like. I feel Death Stranding didn't sell well, and therefore they did it in a shorter time frame. So like, for instance, I can't think of another game right now, but if let's say that the next game comes out and it doesn't really do well, then expect those games to come within that same year to go to PC.
Nice. I think it was a really interesting conversation. I think it's a conversation that unfortunately not a lot of other people on YouTube are talking about, besides us here and the channels that are linked to Next Podcast, like K Mega's channel, and of course people on GRG as well. But this is I look at this as a very common sense type topic, and I think it's a good way to prepare the gamers for what's coming with this upcoming generation. I said it a long time ago, and I know K Mega agreed with me on this. Like when I said this generation, when it kicks off, this is going to be the crossroads generation. This is going to be the generation to which how you play games, you are going to have the most options. And I think it's going to kind of narrow down as we go further into like the generation after this and stuff like that. I think they're gonna kind of tailor and kind of steer their consumers into a certain direction, and I think this generation coming is the beginning of that. Now, if you like it, that's all good. If you don't like it, I mean, I'm just giving you a heads up. And I think that's what everybody else here on the panel, we're just giving you a heads up on the possibilities and what is going to happen within this next generation. It's not going to happen day one, but you go 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you can kind of see these companies kind of turning you left and kind of like guiding you to where they want to be in terms of, you know, a division of a corporation and where they see the future of gaming. And that's where I see them going. And you're going to see little signs from Sony moving forward. Again, they haven't announced exactly what's going on with PlayStation Now. They've actually, if anything, they've kept it under wraps. And I think they're going to unveil it at a time when it's ready as well. Kind of like what's going on in the PC space. And K-Mega, you make a great point with Death Stranding in terms of how quick it did go to PC. You know, because there are a lot of people saying, well, yeah, 2-3 years, man. Who's going to want to play that game then? Well, to be really honest with you, from what I've seen from activity, when a new single-player first-party game comes out on the PlayStation platform, you can really give it 2 to 3 weeks before, you know, the player base starts falling off on it, unless it has some type of multiplayer element to it. I mean, let's be real.
Well, yeah, no, well, I mean, it's the 90-day thing for sure. I mean, because you know, they give a 90-day window of how long that game is going to sell, and then that's when normally you start seeing DLC and things like that. You're starting to see them doing some more things that's not traditional of what we've seen from PlayStation. Like you see with Ghost of Tsushima, they're bringing a multiplayer mode. They're talking about bringing expansions to more of their first-party games.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sony stands has been saying that they can't stand is this you know, games as a service thing. And but Sony is seeing where the benefit of their games can thrive and make more money so they can make more sequels is off of that. So get ready. There's going to be a lot of big changes when you start seeing those DLCs, when you start seeing those expansions and start seeing other stuff, and they start adding multiplayer to other games that you may not think that is possible. And I'm not saying it's going to be abundant, because Sony is synonymous for what they do as single player games. But don't be surprised when you start seeing other games go like a Death Stranding. I mean, not Death Stranding, but Days Gone 2 or something like that, where they'll have a multiplayer feature and things like that. Get ready for that stuff, because Sony sees where the money is. Xbox it showed it. Like, how can you be in second, third place in console sales, but still generate the money that they do? Like, it's crazy.
Curious why you don't hear enough flack about that aspect of them adding multiplayer after the games are released. You know what I'm saying? Like,
very true.
If that was if that was an Xbox game and it didn't come with multiplayer at launch, they'd be getting so much.
They'd be getting trash.
Halo. When Halo said that they were going to
down.
Yeah.
They ripped those games apart, and, you know, because it had multiplayer when it came at launch. But it's okay for Sony to do it, I guess.
As soon as Xbox would have announced multiplayer, there would have been people that said, "Oh, they released the game unfinished. How dare they?"
Yeah.
Like, I saw that when they announced that whole Ghost of Tsushima thing. I was like, you know, like, yeah, if it was if the shoe was on the other foot, there would have been a lot of
supposed
negativity.
to get a Last of Us 2 one too, right? I mean, that's what everybody's
expect to pay for that, by the way. Yeah, I'm just saying, expect to. There's no way they're giving that free. But guys, on that note, unless you guys have any more kind of like last minute thoughts, I think we can wind this down. I know, you know, people want to get to playing their games and stuff. I have at midnight. I have a date with Tony Hawk 1 and 2. By the way, depending on whether or not Snaps.
Well, hurry up, sucker! I had Rachel on pause, and now the pause is stopped. So now let's get.
All right, no doubt. Yo, another great show in the books. Yo, I gotta give a shout out to you guys on the panel. You guys definitely interesting opinions on the topics we had tonight. And of course, a major shout out to everybody in the chat that hung out with us. All the support, all the love, man. I absolutely appreciate seeing you guys here every week. It's we are one of the longest running podcasts in this community, and it's still, in my opinion, it still feels fresh every single week that we go live. There's always something new that happens. We had a Battletoads Battle Cry kind of like contest going on, thanks to Sir X-Man, and of course, Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell, Sean Murray. You guys are all amazing. Thank you guys so much for all the support. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And I'm gonna go classic style. I'm gonna start with Predator. Yo, Pred, usually I remember when I used to start with you first all the time, because you're like, man, I just want to get the hell out of here, all that good stuff, man. But again, your opinion's absolutely amazing. Knocking home run after home run on tonight's show. Why don't you let people know, where they can go to talk games with you, and and anything else you would like to say, man. This is your outro, bro.
First off, shout out to everybody who sent me condolences, man. My cat died last week, and she was 17. It was tough, man. Like, having
your
a
cat was
die.
17.
Yeah, I mistakenly put 27 on there, but she was 17, and like, she had a nice long life, and I think it sucked because I held her when it happened, when they put her down, and that was a tough thing to deal with, man. And it's like, my wife is deployed and stuff like that, and that's her cat. I adopted the cat when I married her, so she wasn't there for it, so she told me to make sure I was there when it happened and held her. So I did, and it sucked, man. It's a hard thing to go through when you've been around something. I've been around the cat for 7 years, so even if it was like a year, I still probably would have felt bad, especially for my wife who isn't here, and I have to explain, the situation that happened with her. But I did get a lot of messages from everybody.
Pred was like, "Yo, I accidentally killed our cat. I apologize."
Yeah, I don't even like cats, but I mean, it grew on me.
Yeah,
so,
I don't even like cats. Yeah.
But I don't. But I mean, like, again, it's part of the family. She grew on me, and I got attached to her, and it was just a really sad moment. And, I know it's not a person. Some people are just like, whatever, it's a fucking cat. But like,
it's
animals
part of
become
the family, bro.
Yeah. And it was I didn't think it was gonna tear me up, but it actually did, and I was really feeling like shit after I did it, and I was in the funk for a couple of days. But there were a couple people in the community that reached out and kind of gave me some positive vibes and stuff like that. Sent shout outs to me and my wife, and thank you for that, for the guys that did that stuff. I will be obviously here next week, ready for whatever the fuck we got to talk about next week.
As long as it's not Halo.
As long as it's not Halo, fuck yes. We shouldn't hear from that game for another fucking year. Thank God. I'm sure it'd be some Destiny shit. Isn't that coming out here pretty soon? So we'll be gearing up for this show in Japan. It ain't gonna be about shit, I'm sure. But hey, see y'all Saturday. Predator_H2S, pretty much everywhere. Xbox, Steam, Pornhub, OnlyFans. I'll see you guys next week, man.
Nice.
OnlyFans.
Nice. And the only thing I would like to correct from Predator, we are no longer live on Saturday, but we are live every Thursday at 7 p.m. So you can catch them right here every Thursday, bro. Thursday. On that note, let's go to Crispy. Yo, Crispy, at one point in time, man, you kind of went off a little left, and I was wondering where you were going with this. But again, by the end of the conversation, you gave some fat to chew on for people who really like to dive into kind of gaming news, topics, theories, stuff like that. When it came to Sony's first party and their use of engine, their proprietary engine and stuff like that, I think you gave a really interesting angle on that topic, as well as the others, man. So you are on multiple podcasts. You got to let people know. Oh, really? Pred, really? And you messed up with EF, man. You messed up. You're done. You're done.
He
dude.
messed up with 4, and oh my lord, God damn.
For EPRE, you gotta vote for. I'm talking Crispy now. So Crispy, like I said, you are on multiple podcasts. You let people know what shows you are on, and of course, let them know, where they can go to talk games, whether it's social media, whether it's Xbox Live. You got to give them the information that they crave, bro.
Oh, well, when it comes down to it, I might possibly be a podcast whore. I have a
Yes, a
problem.
little bit.
Yes. I'm a little addicted. Yeah. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Breakfast with Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can find me on Retro Renegades Tuesday night. And I will be a guest on Gaming After Dark with Noof Nukem. So
Oh,
that
nice.
should be really fun. And then you'll find me here again Thursday nights. Just saying, Brad.
Just saying, Brad. Thursdays.
At 7 p.m. on the
I'll
next
be at Thursday and
podcast.
Saturday because I'm fucking
And
dedicated.
if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Crispy Bomb. And if you want to play some games with me, Crispy Bomb 28 on Xbox Live, hit me up. I'm down. If it's on Game Pass, I'm playing it. Let's go.
Nice, brother. And if you notice, he didn't beg for votes or anything for the gameplay tonight. Crispy just he
Vote
said,
Crispy!
Oh, damn it!
Actually, so that's why I did my shit.
Yo, all right, and
Leave your dick out.
last but certainly not least, and I can't
I ain't
believe
small, brother.
I do apologize that you have to follow
Doesn't
that, but
reach around.
of course I am talking about my brother K Mega, the creator of the GRG podcast. Yo, brother, you gotta let them know. I believe you guys got a fire show coming up tomorrow. Not only that, you gotta let them know about YouTube, about everything you're doing streaming, about your social media. Dude, you got a long list. I should probably shut up and let you talk now, man.
Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, no GRG tomorrow. We're gonna be we're gonna be making some discussions, talking about some stuff. Maybe moving our show to a different day for the summers, and then moving back to Friday evenings in the winter time, because there's a lot of people that's got other things and priorities that they got to do. And so again, when I first started the podcast, I did it because of the job, because of my job, because I did not know what time that I was going to do it. Of course, I sit there and I worked it out. Mooch hit me up and all that other stuff with when he left, and then he came back, and then he said, hey, could he get his old time slot back? But because of the work schedule, and now since I'm not work because I got hurt. And I got hurt in my job, so now I'm more flexible, and then other people are doing other things. So we're gonna have to discuss on what day we would like to move it, and then at the winter time we'll move it back to Friday nights, because the fact of it is that like people just got things that they got to do, and so I totally understand that. So, and since
it's because your time zone is not the Lord's time, by the way.
It is the Lord's time.
East Coast,
It's the Lord's time. So regardless of that. But no, we'll be discussing that. So there won't be no GRG this Friday. Other than that, I will post a video. I want to talk more about this crazy stuff of what I'm seeing from stands with this whole regarding the whole Xbox being compared to PC and PlayStation's not. So get ready for that. I will have a video coming, and then I know I haven't streamed except for just maybe one time in the last week, and that's because I've just been last week was my birthday.
He took his
week.
birthday year off, yo.
I took it off, and then I've been playing the shit out of this Wasteland, so Madden Wasteland. So I was like, okay, all right, so I got to get back into the groove. So I will be back streaming here tomorrow night. And so other than that, you can check me on Twitch, which is KMega45. Also on Twitter at KMega4. If you just want to see why I call these guys stands, because I don't know anything else to call them. And other than that, man, you can catch me every Thursday doing this, man, with my boy X-Bot, man. We've been doing this since day one, so might as well keep going until the wheels fall off.
I got an idea, K-Mega. You say stands because it's just the standard argument across so many people. Like, they all use the same argument constantly.
They just say the same
it's
thing.
Just
like
standard.
Yeah, instead of saying herd of cattle or you know what I'm saying, or sheep, I just might as well call them stands, because they say the same things. Even when they hit me in the DMs and say, they even call me fat. You know what I'm saying? The same way they call me fatty, and so I'm like, bro, like how many people in your circles talk about me like that, to where y'all all have to have the same way of speaking to me? You know what I'm saying?
they have,
So,
brother, they have meetings and they're like, all right, what are we
yeah,
gonna call him? Like,
yeah. What we gonna call him? I know, Fatty El Mega. What? Stop it.
That's so original.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, and I appreciate Xbox going over my Rachel Maddow time. We will have a discussion about this later.
I'm busy. I'm busy that time. But anyway, again, huge shout out to the chat, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, the Lord's time. You already know. Shout out to you guys, but I'm gonna end the show the same way I do every week. We will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
There
you go.
Tekken! Oh, Tekken runs fantastic on Xbox.
No,
Finally.
it doesn't.
Yes, it does, ladies.